So on a day of sadness for the royal family, we have our own royalty from Lisbon to bring some brightness to the day. It's our first look at the Indian Royals as they take on Oeiras Cricket Club. It's day 4 of the Portugal T10 by FanCode here on the European Cricket Network. Good evening, European cricket fans, and welcome to Coimbra for day 4 of the T10 competition, brought to you by FanCode, part of this European Cricket Network buffet of cricket that is happening all across the European continent both this week and the coming months. We have for you a cracking clash today between Oeiras Cricket Club and the Indian Royals. The toss has now been conducted and it was won by Oeiras Cricket Club, who played 2 matches last night against Marlow. They are currently 0-2 in the competition. They won the toss and have elected to bat. So Oeiras Cricket Club will be out there setting a target for game 1, while Indian Royals will try to reply and chase down in what will be very, very difficult conditions for the players. The floodlights already turned on and we have had a fairly significant amount of rain over the last couple of hours here in the Coimbra region, and this Miranda de Corvo stadium is one that drains pretty well, but there will still no doubt be a significant top layer of moisture both on the pitch itself and the outfield. So tricky times for all of the players involved, and no doubt that will impact some of the strategic choices coming between the bowling lineup, in particular the Indian Royal team, their first appearance here in this Portugal T10 event, as opposed to, as I said, Oeiras have had 2 matches already. Unfortunately lost both of those last night to the very, very strong Marlow Cricket Club. So they will be looking to open their account tonight. And as always, joining me here in the commentary box, we have the legendary Rico Fall. Rico, how are you? Staying dry?
I'm staying dry, just about. Welcome to everybody, and welcome to this beautiful part of Portugal. We're in Coimbra, the municipal of Miranda de Corvo, and we've had a little bit of rain. There's some thundery stuff that's been about, and the umpires are just warming up, and well, that's Mr. Winter, just getting the attention of the scorers and saying, okay, we're ready to go. He's joined by umpire Bucks, and we're ready for the start of the first match.
Well, Saeed coming into bowl. First ball up around the earlobes. Aggressive start and a bit of a change tactically for Oeiras in this game, Rico. They have dropped their opening partnership of Green Shields and Kuldeep. Two unsuccessful stints for them last night, and they have pushed up Krut Patel, who looked very good with both bat and ball yesterday, and he's joined out there by Armandeep, who showed flashes of skill as well.
Yes, I was very impressed with Krut Patel. I love the shots that he played out on the offside, and I think in both those games yesterday, and they were tough encounters for Oeiras against Marlow. In both of the games, he was one of the key players. I think he was not out in the first match, scoring good runs and ran out of partners, and in the second, well, once he went, their chase crumbled, but it was still a tight affair. We'll give you those details later as we go back to the action. One just a little bit too wide there. But yeah, yesterday we had interesting games. And of course, just to give you that, it was Marlow in the first match, made 92, losing 6 wickets, and Oeiras, well, they finished on 82 for 7, so they lost that one by 10 runs. Though there was good batting from Kuldeep Kolia, who's the wicketkeeper. I was very impressed with him behind the stumps and with his batting, but he just let them down a little bit in that second match. And at the moment, he's having to dive from left to right. He's like a yo-yo, trying to stop these wides. And that's one thing that Oeiras yesterday were also a little bit guilty of, as well as Marlow, though. Now, the second match, Andrew, what a match that was. We just thought everything was going Irish's way. They had to get the win, we thought, and then right at the end, with the last over, we thought they were going to need more than 10, but then 5 penalty points were given to them because of Marlowe's slow over rate. They just needed 6 runs from 6 balls, and they still couldn't get them.
Yeah, well, we talked to a few of the Awaris Cricket Club guys immediately after the game, and they were bitterly disappointed with their performance, particularly in that second game. I think they fully expected that coming in cold against Marlowe was going to be a tough gig in game 1, but they really should have taken that second game and put themselves in a nice position coming in today too. That's a good length ball, well bowled. Been a little bit all over the place with his radar so far, Saeed, but he's on the money there. Krupatel just trying to punch that one through the offside. There's no protection deep on the offside for them at the moment. There's a man down at fine leg, and it looks like Jaspinder Singh, who is the gun batsman in this Indian Royal team. He's straight down the ground at long off. Saeed comes in.
And that's a lovely shot. He just knew what he was doing there. He saw that the ball was getting a fair bit of bounce, Saeed Ali Nakik there. He got into position, hitting that over that man. That's a nice shot to play inside the power play.
Really impressive, Rico. And if one thing that I've noticed in Kurut Pahel's game that probably wasn't there when he played in the Qatar tournament last year, he just seems incredibly unhurried in his business. He's just using the pace of the ball, and there's been a lot of batsmen in this event so far who have struggled with the fact that the ball does kick up off this pitch at the Miranda de Corvo ground. Kurut is just sitting there and waiting for it to come with him. He's not overly emphasising on the leg side, and it's paying dividends for him.
Yeah, he's very strong, isn't he, outside the off, I think. And this one again, look, just punches that out. That's a nice little shot. Gets the single. Now, one thing we should remind the viewers of, the information that's coming through, because of the delayed start, and obviously because we do have another match that comes on straight after this, this match will be just over 8 overs. So it's an 8-over match, and the power play will be for the first 2 overs. So 2 overs, only 2 men allowed out. Then after 2, they can put the men out up to 5. So it's going to be an 8-over bash.
Even more helter-skelter than normal, Rico, and that obviously means that the bowling analysis changes somewhat too. We'll have 3 bowlers bowling a maximum of 2 overs, and then likely 2 others coming in to bowl 1. So changes all round, but we've still got a game in, which certainly is positive news compared to what we were facing some 30 to 45 minutes ago when the heavens had opened in this magnificent part of Portugal. I think we can, as I said, pumped off the top of the bat, doesn't reach the fielder. That's going to be an easy single. Rico, I think we've got an example this afternoon of why it is such a green and lush part of the country. The rain did come down very heavily and did not disappear for probably a good hour and a half.
Yeah, that's correct. And some of the guys were saying that's one of the things that you get in April, and it's very similar, I have to say, to Spain. We always do say you always take a chance with organising an event during any time March and April, because you will always get not long periods of rain, but there will always be maybe 2 or 3 days where you're going to get a day like this day. But the good thing about it is though we were sat under the shelter for a long time thinking, is it ever going to stop? It has stopped, and it does look like it's brightening up as well, and that's not because we've got the floodlights on. And well, that's going to be another wide ball there. So, well, the Indian Royals got to be careful about this. So, a lot of teams, I mentioned Irish, they struggled a little bit with the extras yesterday. Marlowe have really struggled. I mean, they've set all sorts of records. 47 extras they gave in one match, 27 in one of the games yesterday. So, extras being a feature here. That could be because, of course, the ball is wet. You see straight away the bowler just adjusting his line now. His run up, just keeping it a little bit shorter. So that's going to be a key figure here today.
Smart change from Saad, who bowls a nice full ball outside off stumps. Flashed by Armandeep. He gets an outside edge. Slips when he was preparing to turn for a possible second. So they end up with only a single as the man comes around from fine leg. Suggests the ball will probably struggle to roll across the carpet to the boundary, at least for the foreseeable future, Rico. There is no shortage of moisture on the top surface.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about this change then with the batting lineup? I mean, I was very impressed. One of the players that impressed me, that's a nice shot, and he's played that once before, just hitting it over the top of the infield. And the fielder, well, he had to put the brakes on there because there's a bit of a dip when you get to the end. Then if you don't stop in time, well, he was going to be taking off. That was going to be a Bizaway Airways takeoff, but he managed to just get the brakes on top. Nice shot, that, isn't it? He does that really well. He rocks back. He knows the ball's coming onto him, and at this moment of time inside the power play, getting under it, lofting it over the top.
It's really good play, Rico, and we talked last over about the fact that he just rides the ball as it bounces outside off stump, not hurriedly trying to turn it to the short leg side boundary, and he's profited from 2 early 4s. The Indian Royals will soon learn that that place behind point is probably... Dhruv Patel has launched a second consecutive 4. Exceptional batting. He's drilling this through the offside field and taking advantage of the 2 overs that they have with the power play.
Yeah, this is a lovely shot. I love the way he's got into position. He's seen it early, know it's wide. But what he doesn't do, he doesn't lose his head. His head stays perfectly still, gets in line and puts it through the gap. Top shot. And, well, we'll see this. What can Mohammed Syed come back with here? Needs to get it closer to him. This is pretty wide as well. The fielder... Oh, he takes one for his team there, just keeps that to the single. But going back to the point I was making, I would love to see Patel batting with Kuldeep Goli. I think Kuldeep was probably one of the key players, and I think the 2 of them could be quite destructive together. They've opted with Amandeep now. Whether that was because they think he's a big hitter inside the power play, I don't know. But I just think Kuldeep up there for me, that would have made it nice and spicy.
Interesting observation, Rico. Certainly nothing that I saw from Amandeep last night suggested that he's going to aggressively pursue the open pastures that are available in the first 2 overs of this power play. But the Welsh team, they know their structure, they know their tactics, and they've made a change. And just as we say that, Amandeep has popped one out to the space just wide of cover. Come back for an easy second. That one's pulled up inside the boundary.
Yeah, it's a good, for me, good toss to win though, isn't it? I think when you see what's happening around you, know it's pretty wet. The fielders are going to struggle with the wet ball. The bowlers will struggle running in. It's a good one. And I also think for Irish, there's something about them yesterday which suggested me they would be far better off batting first. That's another cracking shot. What a beauty that was. All about positioning, all about timing, and the umpires check in and says that's 4. Well, I thought maybe for a moment it had gone all the way, but that was a beauty.
Well, Rico, we didn't necessarily see much from Amandeep last night that suggested that he was going to take advantage of the power play, but the last 2 shots, he has broken the shackles. That is one of the shots of the tournament so far. Beautifully played, so late, just under the eyes, and he struck it cleanly. Magnificent shot.
Wonderful, and well, that was a magic over as well. The score after 2, 29 without loss. And remember, this is just going to be an 8-over innings. It's going to be 8 overs for both sides, so it's very important to get going quickly. And well, that man, Dhruv Patel, who's waiting to receive the next set of deliveries, he looks like he's a man on a mission. He's saying, come on, give it to me. I don't want to get cold.
Well, this is probably the most profitable opening 2 overs that we've seen from any batting side so far, Rico. One of the observations that we have noted a couple of times during the course of this tournament is teams not really going after the bowling in the power play and actually giving themselves a lot of work to do in the back end of the innings, whereas this has been a stunning start from Aweris.
It's been great. Rohit comes into bowl, just flights this one up, and that's a good delivery. That's a sort of line I think you want to be bowling. And that could have gone anywhere. Dhruv Patel, for the first time actually, electing to try and turn this around on the leg side. I think he would have been far better off just coming out to this one. Or maybe he'll change his strategy here. Maybe he'll come down and try and hit straight. Let's see where this next ball is going from Rohit Kumar.
I think the real danger when you're playing the off-spinners in that fashion is that with the moisture that's sitting on the top of the deck, that ball is going to skid through a lot more than it normally does. It's not going to grip. Patel just jumps on the back foot. That one jumped up to his chest, but he's ridden the bounce well. But the ball is going to skid through a lot more just because of the moisture on the pitch, and I think Patel would be well advised to not repeat that shot because he almost lost his bails.
Yeah, he certainly did. And let's see what this one does here from Kumar. That's a good length, but it's been hit very well, and it goes to the boundary. And that one really did race across. We saw a couple yesterday hit in that area where the ball seemed to slow down. I'm just wondering, with this the rain, it's certainly quickened up there. That went pretty quick for that side of the field, and the captain, well, just saying, here you go, here's the cloth, young man, see if that helps you.
Well, so Quinter's seeing his team's under some pressure here. As we talked about many times, the team's coming in cold for their first performance. It's a tough ask in the first game of the evening, and certainly doing it in what are quite difficult conditions.
And this one's hit out once more, trying to find that gap. This time the fielder will come down. And well, a very warm welcome to all of our viewers, wherever you're watching from, and whether it's via our European Cricket Network YouTube channel or via FanCode in the sub-Indian continent. Welcome to you, and thank you for being there. And well, get involved in the chat. Any questions you want to ask, feel free to, as that one's been swiped by Patel, but no joy. He's trying to hit that one over the square leg umpire to try and get the boundary going.
Rowett facing quite a bit of pressure in his first over. Difficult job for an off-spinner trying to grip the ball, especially when it's new. There's not a huge amount of traction. Trying to rip the fingers down on it. Be well advised, just send a few through flatter. Just try to pin Patel onto the back foot. Just try to get out of this over without too many more runs. 6 off it so far, Patel. Wobbly try. Rocks onto the back foot, lofts it slightly, and he's found the gap. His placement has been excellent today, and he is showing that you can do a lot of damage, not by trying to loft the ball over the stadium roof, but just punching through the gaps that exist in the offside field. Still no adjustment from the Indian Royals team to try to cut off that happy hunting ground for Krut Patel. He is in top form, Rico.
Certainly is. I mean, that boundary there, that takes him into the 20s of just 12 deliveries. And, well, what an impressive start it is. But your observation yesterday about how quickly the ball travels on that offside, well, we're seeing it here today. Anything goes for the gap is gone.
Absolutely. And as we noted, Rico, on one of our frequent walks back to the clubhouse over the last couple of days, not only is there a bit of a slope that goes out to that offside, but it's also really hard packed turf, and is probably a slightly different construction than the rest of the ground. Once the ball hits that final 10 metres, it is not stopping.
Yeah, now this could be a chance, and he's done well, the bowler. He's got to it quickly, run in, gets low, gets the throw in, and there's good backing up as well. Good bit of cricket there from both teams, taking on the bowler and getting the single. And this is clever, I think, from Amandeep. Amandeep, well, he scored 14 now off 7 balls himself, but he's saying, look, Krut Patel, the way you're hitting, I'll get you on strike. Well, that's clever from the batsman. And this ball is raced away, it would be wide. And he'll take 2 there. You see a lot of batsmen sometimes let that one hit their pads and end up with nothing. But here that was good. He's got 2 runs and he'll have that ball again as well.
And it brings us to the magnificent situation where we have Amandeep versus Amandeep.
Well,
sounds like a custody battle in the US courts.
So Amandeep the bowler.
Who's going to come out victor? Amandeep the bowler, Amandeep the batsman. Let's see if he uses his feet to get to the pitch. It's good length ball. Little bit of purchase off the deck. Amandeep tries to scamper through for the singles. Poor fielding. It's going to be an easy overthrow.
Yeah, that's one thing that they don't want to do. I mean, that was unnecessary, wasn't it? I don't think you're going to achieve anything there other than give the single to the batting team, and that's exactly what Owarish have said. And said, thank you very much. We'll get the big man back on strike. He'll be certainly, I think, looking to go big here with this ball. Here he comes, Amandeep. And, well, it's right in the slot. And that's a lovely shot, and that's for you, Mahindra. He was saying he was missing the balle is in Milan. Well, Mahindra, I hope you've tuned in, and well, that's a special one for you. That's a nice shot. And speaking of Milan, there was plenty of action there today. Remember, there was 4 matches today. It's certainly hotting up there. We know who the teams are now going to be battling out in the final tomorrow. And, well, we also had a star in the making. We just see this delivery here from Amandeep, and he's just trying to guide that on the offside and deciding this time not to take the single. I think that's a good shout from Amandeep, the batsman, deciding that was too risky. Also, well done to Mukhtar Mohammed, taking a hat-trick today there in Milan. He generally bowled the 1 over in that match, 2 runs and 4 wickets. So well bowled indeed, sir.
Well, Rico, the fashion capital of the world, isn't it, delivering some cracking cricket action over the last few days?
Yeah, it's been wonderful to see. I've seen good batsmen. I've seen players that I've seen play in Rome before coming into the action. And Ravi Paul, well, he's got a new hairstyle as well. Ravi, liking the way you look, mate, and he bowled really well today as well. And, well, he didn't bat so well, but we won't talk about your batting, Ravi. Just talk about your bowling. That's in the air, but again, it's safe, and it's a lovely shot once more through that gap. And they're just not learning. They're not putting a man there you've got to have a man now, I would have thought, there on the boundary, extra cover for that particular shot.
I'm going to rename him Brute Patel after that series of strikes. That's just clubbed to the boundary, and he's waiting for the ball. He's playing each delivery on his merits, and he's absolutely prepared to go over the offside. The Royals have finally decided to put a man out in the cover position to try to stop the carnage, but this is a great start from the Werrish Cricket Club, and this change in the opening pair has paid dividends.
Yeah, it certainly has. Certainly with Patel hitting it so well, and they've also gone past the 50 mark now as well. 53 without loss at the halfway stage, and this one just hit out towards the fielder. They'll take the single, and Amandeep, well, he's certainly playing his part in this partnership so far, and getting that single and just saying to Kruk Patel, there you go, get on with it. And interesting tactics also, I think, from the Indian Royals. They're obviously just getting the bowlers to the slower bowlers on, because deciding that, I mean, I'm assuming they've got the seam bowlers, but just deciding it's not worth risking them bowling. It's better off get the slow bowlers on, just concentrate on getting the ball in the right area, and hopefully the batsman make the mistake.
Yep, another example of it there. The only time Kruk Patel has looked in trouble today is when he's swinging across the line to the off spinners.
Yeah.
Hasn't learned his lesson from the previous over. 2 dot balls in succession.
Yeah, he's just walking away there. Maybe he's just having to think to himself, and I think he's more than capable just to come down the track and meet it and hit it straight over. He hasn't done that as yet. Whether he'll do it here now or not, we'll see. Still waits for it, but this time he does get under it, and that's been hit big. Shaka Lagia, that is nice. And manos arriba, Mr. Winter. That's gone all the way, 6 runs. Well, I suppose he missed out on 2. He was going to miss out on the third one. Third time lucky. Where's this one going to go?
Well, that one just sat up a touch more, clearly gripped the surface, slightly slower delivery from the bowler. That's a good length. Kruk Patel drops onto the back foot, just plays it sensibly for a single. It's been a good over so far. Credit to the bowler where it's due.
Yeah, it's just been Kruk Patel just doing the right things. He's hitting the big shots, and then that time deciding, well, okay, I'm not going to play another dot ball out here. I'll just push it out. The gap's there. Take the single. Amandeep comes down. He's hit this well, but fielder's in play, and well, it was a difficult one for the captain. Sukhwinder Singh, and it's almost yorked him as he'd gone down, but the most important thing that he did was he just kept it to the single, and he made sure that the ball didn't go underneath him.
Well, congratulations to Rohit Kumar. After that delivery, he's now the only bowler who has an economy rate under 10, just sneaking in with a 9.5. That will make him happy, but it's still difficult times for the Indian Royals. Werrish Cricket Club 62 for no wicket after the first 5 overs, Rico, and we could be well on our way to seeing the biggest total of this Portugal T10 so far.
We certainly could. I mean, the way they banned. Don't forget, it's only 8 overs though. Don't get carried away. It's only 8 overs. But
I'm not going to hold back. I think we can still see the biggest total.
Yeah, but the way they're going, it's certainly on, isn't it? It's a change here now. So, and that would probably be a wide. And well, it's nothing signal. So I'm guessing that just come off the batsman there. Hence the appeal.
I think Sukhwinder has sold it well with the vociferous appeal. The left-hand orthodox may have just touched the pit. Amandeep swings across the line for the second ball. Sukhwinder Singh, captain, has taken it upon his shoulders to try to rein in this spiralling run rate.
Yeah, just concentrating, just getting the ball falling up there, and he's used his feet here well. Didn't really get the contact you would have liked, but he has managed to prevent it being another dot ball. Gets the single. He's playing his part in this partnership. I'm just thinking though, Andrew, would you be now, if you were Amandeep, be saying to yourself, okay, bearing in mind what's left of this innings, it's probably time that I really try and go big, because you still got the likes of, like we said, Kuldeep out there to come in. You still got the likes of Conrad Greenshields. Those 2 guys can bat well as well. So would you be thinking, right, okay, it's time now for me, it's do or bust?
I couldn't agree with you more, Rico. I think he is trying to force the issue. I think his game is just less suited to this skiddy pitch than it is for Kruk Patel, who has clearly got this well under control. If I was Amandeep, I'd probably be just trying to make sure the singles are taken as much as possible. That ball's gone up very high. Sukhwinder Singh, good fielder, comes in and takes it very calmly from the long off position. He is one of the class players within this Indian Royals side. And while you asked for Amandeep to press the issue, Rico, we know that you have almost a direct psychic communication line to most of the players within the European Cricket Series events, and he has listened and he has perished.
He's perished. He's gone for it, though. I mean, give him his due. He's played his part in this partnership, and what a good one it was. 64 runs. He's certainly got his team in a very, very good position. And, well, the next batsman coming in. It's always nice, isn't it? I mean, whereas up until now, those two matches they had last night, every time a batsman was coming in was under a huge amount of pressure, not being able to play their natural game. Well, this is ideal situation for a batsman to be coming in. You've got runs on the board, and you can really play a calm, relaxed innings, knowing you've got the freedom to play your natural game.
Absolutely, but it's been a good over from Sukhwinder Singh. Talked about him earlier today, that he's a man who's fairly innocuous on the surface with his left arm orthodox, but he's got good control, doesn't give the batsman too many loose ones to work with, and he's bowled a very, very good over. Yeah. Just to note, Rico, you're getting an immense amount of love on the YouTube chat today. Master Nater 7 suggesting that Rico needs a raise right now! Exclamation mark. He's so dang good.
Oh, that's so nice. Thank you, everybody. And, well, I'm only good because I've got the right partner with me here. Don't forget Mr. Rhino here. Oh, Rhino. It's lovely to be sat next to him. He's got wealth of experience, especially about all of these players here. Now, we're talking about experience. Now, what about this Indian Royals team? Obviously, we've got key players there, but Sukhwinder Singh is a good all-rounder. Picked up 6 wickets the last time that you would have seen him bowling his leg spin. You can see why. And, well, let's just go back to this is Amandeep Singh coming into bowl again.
Well, the Indian Royal, I think they're a better team than they've given an account of so far today. Back at the Qatar Show tournament, when they played at their best, they really did challenge the top sides from the Portuguese domestic competition, and they were, you wouldn't say they were level pegging with the likes of Gorka 11 and Marlow, but they were really challenging them. But also they do show a level of inconsistency, and their bowling attack probably just lacks one really penetrative bowler who can take consistent wickets against the best batsmen in this tournament. And there are some really, really high-quality batsmen on show in the top order of a lot of the teams that are playing in this tournament.
So Amandeep just trying to tie them down here. And, well, that one's nicked away. It's going to be a chase for the fielder. He's giving it everything he's got. And that's a nice slide and throw. It's well done. And he's going to have to, well, he could be out here if that's gone directly onto the stumps. And just having a look there. He doesn't seem to be making his way away from the action. Let's have a look what's happened here. So, you got, there comes the, well, I'd like to see if we've got a side-on view of that because, well, here we go. You get a better idea. And, oh, he didn't have the ball. And this one's gone up in the air. Sukhwinder is, well, he does the little ballerina bit, but doesn't get the ball in his hand. And ball comes through. Well, that was a bit of an error there from the wicketkeeper. Wasn't able to take the ball. Took the stumps okay, but didn't have the ball in hand.
Well, Kuldeep has wasted absolutely no time in taking the attack to the bowlers. Should have been run out that previous delivery. That's a good delivery. Skated through low. Doesn't look like he's got any bat on it, but they scamper through for a single. Yeah,
that one did stay low, isn't it? We did say that every so often you get one that does stay low, and unfortunately, if you're the batsman and you're right in front, if it's straight, you're going to have to go. You've got no choice. But that one, unfortunately, not on the stumps. Amandeep. Nice, tidy so far, I have to say. That's been hit hard. Good work from the fielder, and this is good work. They're certainly targeting Krut Patel. They know he's not the quickest.
Well, Krut not exactly taking the big strides to finish off that single. It's the end of the over, and Awaris continue to be in complete control of this game. There's 66. So I think our scoreboard is still updating. They are 72 for 1 after 7 overs, so one more over to go in the chase. And just looking back to the YouTube chat here, Rico. I've got my old mate Yannick Bischoff, a long-time collaborator with the European Cricket Network, and provided some heroic management at the Cartasho tournament last year. 2 comments from Yannick. He's gone for hashtag free rhino, which is, I assume, a suggestion of what he thinks my pay should be in comparison to yours, as opposed to people calling out for a massive raise. And the Bishes also recalled the fact that when these teams met in Cartasho last year, Conrad Greenshields was actually man-catted in the game, and it created quite a stir. And speaking of stir, they have finally managed to create a recipe to get Krut Patel out. Swung across the line to another nibbly ball from Sukhwinder Singh, and he's been completely beaten. But that is an excellent innings from Krut Patel, and he has put his side into a commanding position. But so Greenshields was man-catted, and as on the one hand, it probably provided a lot of the most fiery debate on the YouTube chat for that entire tournament. I personally, particularly being an indoor cricketer from way back, am a massive fan of the man-cat and love to see it pulled out. But clearly my morals were not in the same place as a lot of our YouTube feed fans, and there was a big swing the other way, suggesting that it was not an appropriate thing to do.
Well, that man you talk about, he's on his way out here now, so yeah, maybe he's got a little bit of payback to give here then, does he, in the few balls that are remaining. I mean, I also heard that Indian Royals, they narrowly missed out in the semi-final plays as well, and it was a defeat to this team.
Yep, they got very, very close, and as we said, they were somewhat up and down throughout that tournament. I think from memory, they may have even managed to beat Marlow in the middle of the week, which was a major upset at the time, but really came together. And that is a super strike from Greenshields. He's clearly got the man-cat sitting right in the front of his frontal lobe, and he has decided to take out some of that residual anger on Sukhwinder Singh and the Indian Royals. That's an excellent start.
It's a nice shot. Shaka lag gaya. And, well, Gidna Sona, that was nice, and that's what he's got to come out and do here, and he's ready to go again, I think. Here comes Sukhwinder. It's in the same slot. This time he's just managed not to be able to steer it away. Looking to take the 2, but, well, I think called it. He's gone down, he slipped and wasn't able to come back. But they did. I mean, the good thing about it was that though they had that close defeat, the one thing was they did manage to win the Shield final. So they did have something to come back with. So, and they'll be hoping to do the same here. We're seeing them in the field. I think they're pretty well disciplined here under difficult circumstances. I'm looking forward to seeing their batting.
No, they have got some good batsmen, particularly the man standing right in front of us at long off, Jasbinder Singh. He is a classical player, loves stroking it through the covers, really works the gap very well. If he can bat 5 or 6 overs in each game, he'll really give the Royals a chance. He only needs some minimal support from the rest of his batting lineup and a few big hits. Sukhwinder comes in, Greenshields launches again, that's not going to carry, and it's well caught out there on the boundary. That's probably the longest corner of the ground. Didn't quite swing it around to as square as he would have liked. And unfortunately, Greenshields comes for a good time, but not a long time. He is out for 7 off 3 deliveries.
Yeah, I mean, you can't blame him though. He's got to go big. He would have thought enough on this to go. And the fielder's told, well, that's got to be the longest. That's the longest boundary, isn't it, on this ground? Because it goes right into the corner there behind those flags, which sometimes helps to camouflage and hide the fielder away from us. But a good catch taken there. Well, what about the captain's role in this match? We see a lot of the captains, we saw that in Marlow, we saw it with Gurkha as well. The captains certainly do play a big part in these matches.
Well, Sukhwinder Singh, he's now got 3 overs, only 12 runs off him to date. Still 1 ball to go before the end of this innings. And if the Indian Royals win this game, a lot of it's going to be down to his bowling. Comes in, G2 tries to swing that through the covers, can't make a contact. And that is a relatively underwhelming end to the innings of the Oweris Cricket Club, but they will be very, very happy with their work. As Rico has mentioned, this is a reduced overs game thanks to the late start because of the pelting rain that hit the Miranda de Corvo ground just before the start of play, so only 8 overs per side, but Oweris hitting 81 for 3 wickets off their 8 overs, Rico. They will be very, very pleased with that.
Yeah, they will be. Now look, they had problems, didn't they, yesterday with their batting. And that's the one thing that they had to put right. Let's just to remind you, they got to 82. Remember, we're talking about in 10 overs against Marlow in their first match, and then they struggled to get to the winning target of 78 in the second game, agonizingly falling 2 runs short. We thought maybe we were going to get a golden ball, but they couldn't get that. So this is a good score for them, and one that I think they will feel that they can defend.
No, absolutely agree. And the one shining light for the Royals, though, after the loss of the first wicket of Armandeep in the end of the 5th over, they only leaked a further 17 runs off the last 13 balls.
Yeah.
And if they do end up winning this match, I think they can look back to that period and say that is where they got themselves back in the game.
Yeah, and the other thing, I mean, that I think that Irish will need to think about, I'm just thinking of their bowling yesterday. I know that Paolo Gutzimatsa bowled really well, and also the bowling of Patel. They will be key on this surface the way it is at the moment. And I think the likes of maybe Conrad Greenshield and perhaps even Hussain, they will struggle, because to run in and try and bowl quick on there, it's not going to be easy. You've got to get the slower bowlers on, and I think you have to say the Indian Royals did that pretty well.
No, they went with very much a spin attack for the majority of that game, albeit they probably do have a greater reliance on the spinners than most of the teams here. But I think you're right, Rico, and Mr. Buchimatsa, who had no shortage of success in the wickets column in the first 2 games for Werris Cricket Club, he could really be the trump card with the ball. His left arm around the wicket spinners, they will be very, very difficult to deal with.
Certainly do. So Irish done very well. Krut Patel, he led the way. 41 runs scored off 25 balls. I think he batted really well, especially playing those good shots outside the offside. The only thing perhaps where he let himself down, and perhaps that's why he didn't go on to score the 50, could have been the second player to get a 50 in this series, was the shots he tried to play on the leg side when he's trying to convert the balls out from outside off to leg. So that's something for him to work on. And he was well supported by Amandeep as well. Well done, Amandeep, supporting him, scoring 18 of 14. And called it Goliath when he came in. Didn't quite do what I expected. I thought he was going to really go after it. He just went run a ball, 5 balls, 5 runs, but he was not out. Conrad Greenshield, well, that was more the innings I was expecting from Kuldeep. I mean, it was only 3 balls, but strike rate is good. 233, that's all right. 7 runs for 3 balls. And in the end, the not-out batsman was Jitis Kumar, the captain himself. He didn't really get a chance, just the 1 ball, and he wasn't able to capitalise on it at all. So they'll be relatively happy. You can't be too disappointed with that. And we're just trying to get the bowling figures for you. Once again, we've got the gremlins that work here. And here we go. So with the bowling, of course, the main star is going to be Sukhwinder Singh. Did very, very well, the captain. Just used his head. I think that he bowled a couple of wides, but apart from that, 3 wickets for 12 runs off 2. That was brilliant from him. Amandeep Singh doing the same sort of thing, just aiming to get the ball in the right place. So when you look at all of those bowling figures, I think the only bowler that would be disappointed was Mohammad Saad. He went for 18 of his 1. But in the end, I think a reasonable performance. I think both teams here will be relatively happy with what they achieved. I think the Irish, with the problems they had with their batting yesterday, will be very happy with that. And Indian Royals, well, I know that Andrew Ryan has seen them bat before. I haven't done. I've read all about them, and like Andrew was saying, the gentleman Jaspinda, he's going to be very key. I think he can hit big runs and score them quickly. So that's what we've got to look forward to. And just going back to my notes here, so Jaspinda Singh, yeah, I mean, he gets off to a rapid start. He scored 171 runs in his last European Cricket Series. Amandeep Singh, he's their leading run scorer, so he'll be one to watch as well. And then you've also got the captain, Sukhwinder Singh. Not only can he bowl a bit, hits the ball well, and then also this Manjeet Singh. He's hard hitting as well, and he hits the ball big. And I think on this ground, the way it's playing at the moment, and with the outfield being pretty quick, I think if any of those batsmen that we've mentioned can get in, a little bit like what Krut Patel did, get in, take command, take on the bowling, and then I think they've got a very good opportunity to register their first win. Well, both teams are looking to register their first win. Irish, remember, played 2 yesterday and couldn't get off the mark. Well, join us in just under 10 minutes time, when we will see if the Indian Roars can come out and get the 82 that they need of 8 overs for victory. This is the FanCode Portugal T10. I'm Rico Full and Andrew Ryan, and we shall be right back in a moment. Benvenida de volta. Welcome back. I'm Rico Full, and this is FanCode Portugal T10, and I'm joined by Andrew Ryan in the commentary position. We've got an exciting match in prospect. It's a slightly shortened match because of the rain and late start, but the good news is, well, we look like we're gonna get the games in today, as that rain seems to have disappeared, and the forecast is looking pretty good. And the forecast for Wirash is also looking a lot better than it was yesterday. Yesterday they struggled with the bat, but today winning the toss, and I think it was a good one to win, electing to bat first under difficult circumstances. They've gone out, difficult circumstances certainly, I think, to bowling for the Indian Royals, but I think they did pretty well. Wirash did get off to a very good start, And just to have a look, I mean, they raced away to 53 at what would have been the halfway stage at 4 overs, but then they couldn't quite maintain it. I mean, Krut Patel found himself off strike a bit, and well, he did go on to score 41 of 25 deliveries, which I think was fantastic. A great effort from him. He was well supported at the beginning by Amandeep Singh, but then after that, though, there was some good blows at the end. A lovely 6 hit by Conrad Greenshields of his very first delivery, but they weren't able to accelerate to a score of around about between 90 and 100, which at one point it looked like they were probably going to be able to do. But I still think that 81 is a good score, so the target has been set for of 82, and it would be interesting to see how the Indian Royals go about it. I think if I had my way, I would just literally say, right, okay, get the big guns out there first. You've only got 8 overs. You just need one of the batsmen to get in and play big shots. And if you can do that, I think they've got every opportunity to register their first win. Both of these teams are searching for their first victory. The Indian Royals would love to be able to do it first off in their very first match of this FanCode Portugal T10. Oh, Irish, well, they know, though it's still pretty early in this series. Remember, we're going to be 23 matches in total to be played. And, well, that's 2 matches every night. 23 days, I should be saying, going to be played in total. They've got plenty of time to get back in this despite the start that they made yesterday. But they need to start somewhere, and this would be a good time to do that. I think they have runs on the board, and we always said that batting second is what's always proved difficult. And they're going to start off with the man of the match so far, Krut Patel. Well, if he can get in a good bowling performance here, there's no reason why he cannot be legitimately given that man of the match title. So it's going to be Amandeep Singh. He's going to be taking the first ball. Patel just making sure he's got his field ready. And the non-striker is going to be Manjeet Singh. The umpire's just getting ready to get given the go-ahead. It's like a countdown. It really is. It's spectacular. Well, there's his little signal, and here we go. It's the case of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, he's just checking with his fielders. The fielders say, yeah, we're ready. Come on, get on with it. No, we're not ready. His third man just moved him around just a little bit. Just have a quick look here. Remember, 2 men allowed out for the first 2 overs, 2 over power play. And we've got a man deep mid-wicket. He's in the sand. He might as well have bought his flip-flops. And we've got a man here mid-off. That's going to be Amandeep. Well, that's not the best of starts. Very wide. And so 2 runs on the board straight away without technically a ball being bowled. So good start. And Patel needs to get the line right. Can't be giving too many extras away. I did say at the beginning that was one of the problems that Awarish had yesterday when they were in the field. Krut Patel, they'll be looking for an early breakthrough. That's short. And, well, this could be tight. And that's a good bit of fielding. Got in really quickly there, but very good running. Very impressed with that. And see this again, look. It all happened so quickly. And, well, I think a direct hit certainly would have made it interesting. Good bit of fielding. And the umpires here, we've got men in black. Umpire Bucks and Umpire Winter. Doing a grand job. Tournament referee Carlos Butsimasa. That's a good ball. That's where he needs to be. And, well, maybe he's got his rhythm now and he's got the radar right. Those deliveries are so difficult to get away. Just short of a length, they pop up. And batsman, unless you're very strong playing the cut shot, I'm going to struggle. Gets another chance here. He's dealt with that pretty well. I think that was what you're looking to do. Just guide that away. Takes the single, Amandeep, and Manjeet now back on strike. Beautiful setting this. I know we say it so many times. Just surrounded by beautiful forests and trees and greenery. Well, we know why they're green at the moment. that one's just been hit out. The fielder will get down, get the ball in. That's our man doing a great job there. Conrad Greenshields, we saw him take a fantastic catch there yesterday. And I think the captain's Jitesh Kumar has probably said, well, look, you know what it's all about there now. That's your spot. Thanks, Gov, he says. No problem. This one's floated nicely and almost gets through the defences off the batsman. Yeah, just wonderful. There's a lot of wildlife around us as well. Lots of biological parks. A lot of information that is very interesting to read. And that one's gone through again, and maybe if the wicketkeeper was standing up, an opportunity there. But that is the end of the first over. And the score stays on 5. And, well, I'll talk about a lot of the wildlife here. And, well, there's a bit of wildlife next to me, Rhino. Hello, big Rhino. And a man who also went and had a look at some of that wildlife today. Is that right?
Certainly did, Rico. The zoological or biological park, more correctly, right next to our hotel. It's got some stunning open scenery, some lovely creatures to go and meet. Full horse stables series, a park with some lynx who didn't get to see today. A few llamas around the place, but they're all native Portuguese species, or at least species that are very, very common within Portugal for both farming purposes and more in wildlife. But really good place to visit if you happen to be in the Coimbra region.
Oh, just having a look at some of the action there while I was listening to you. Interesting facts. I think that one, I think no ball was signalled, but it's been retracted now. It's just been signalled as one for the over. As Kumar comes back in again here.
I can't believe he's dragged that back onto his stumps, Rico. That's a terrible ball from Rohit. Somehow, Manjeeta's managed to pull the ball off the bottom of his bat and drag it back to leg stump.
Well, can you believe that? He can't believe it. You're absolutely right. It was a dirty ball. It was Gundy. It was going to be a wide ball if he did nothing with it. He probably was thinking to send it for 6. And in the end, he's managed to get himself out with it.
Well, we were talking about the man cat in the last game from the last time that these teams met in Qatar. So I almost think the captain should have retracted the dismissal for that clean bowl. That is an appalling ball to get a clean bowled on. It's going to go down in the scorecard as one that will make Rohit very, very happy. But that is a remarkable bit of cricket.
Well, he's gone just for 2, and it's one of those, isn't it, when you're batting and you see that one coming, your eyes light up. And, well, he's totally, he got into a bit of a muddle, didn't he? Got into a muddle, didn't really, do you think it got higher on him than he expected it to?
Possibly. I think it was almost so wide he could barely reach it, but once again, it's unbelievable that he's managed to get the right angle to take that onto his leg stump, and I imagine he's going to be still shaking his head for the next half hour. But on the upside, it does bring Jaspinder Singh to the crease, who is a very, very good batsman and certainly the top man for the Indian Royals, as he just dribbles that one out for an easy single. But he's a talented player, Rico, very easy on the eye. Started a little bit slowly in Qatar Show, but once he got into his work, he was incredibly consistent across most of the games. Yeah, really talented player.
He certainly looked the part, didn't he, in the field? We saw him take that one catch, and it's one of those things. We carry on after this delivery first. Just having given a wide, maybe a bit harsh there for the bowler, but he certainly got down on one knee. He was looking to crash that the off stump. Probably the right shot to play. Just didn't get into the right position. And here he comes again. Kumar Rohit. This one's hit straight. Didn't quite time it, but they'll take the single. Yeah, one of the things, sometimes by just looking at a fielder or at a player, I should say, and seeing their movement, seeing the way they take catches, seeing the way they throw, you automatically know he's a player, don't you? And with just been there, seeing him on the field there, on the boundary, taking that catch, you thought, yeah, he's a player.
No, absolutely. He's played a good level of cricket before. Quality all-round player, probably not the shot to pull out after we've just been giving him an array of compliments. But either way, he'll take a couple of balls just to get used to the behaviour of this pitch. There's a few little inconsistencies. the odd ball really popping off a good length, whereas some of the short ones are scooting through at ankle level. Rohit managing to extract a bit of useful movement off the deck so far in this over. Full ball, Jaspinder doesn't quite move his front foot across. One safely through to the keeper. He's going to get moving relatively quickly, though, because they do have a relatively hefty total to chase.
Yeah.
Needing to go at over 10 runs and over if they're to take this first match in night 4 of the Portugal T10 competition, brought to you by FanCode. I'm sure all of our wary players of the Dream 11 fantasy games for this particular contest will have Jaspinder in their side if they've read the recommendations coming on the European Cricket Network or website, which is certainly your best home to go to for all the previews of the games, all of the highlights, all of the live streaming links for the matches throughout both this Portugal T10 tournament and the event going on in Milan at the moment.
Yeah, just very easy, whatever your browser is, EuropeanCricket.com. Everything's there at your fingertips, and of course you can look at what's happening in Milan and what the fixtures are for tomorrow, the player profiles as well, and of course the reviews are all on there as well, so you'll probably be able to go on and look at the review for the final day tomorrow in Milan, and you can also see the reviews later on of what's going to be happening here in Portugal.
Comrade Greenshields in for his first over. Fairly lackadaisical run up for a man who normally charges in quite quickly, but he'll be relying today on, I think, a little bit of sideways movement more so than pace. The first one swung back in appreciably to Amandeep, who's got himself off strike, got Jaspinder on to face. But I think it's a good form of bowling, actually. Jaspinder likes to hit through the covers. He may be trying to bowl him through the gate with a full one. Jaspinder steps away, trying to give himself room. He likes the offside.
Yeah.
Just getting a good line bowled to him at the moment. The last 3 balls he's been beaten with have just been just outside off stump. It's clever bowling from Awaris, and I think they genuinely have a plan to Jaspinder.
There's that shot he was looking to play, and he's played that beautifully. And, well, a good batsman doesn't miss out too many times. He's missed out a couple, but this one was, the height was more favourable to him, but it's the positioning and the timing.
Positioning and the timing. Moved his back foot across. Ball swung in relatively late from Greenshields. It wasn't actually a bad delivery, but his footwork was much sharper, Jaspinder, on that ball and rode the bounce. Just used the pace of the ball. Easy boundary for a man of his class.
Yeah, it will certainly make him feel a lot better. I think when you're a batsman, no matter what level you're at, but when you get one out the middle of the bat, all of a sudden you think, right, okay, I'm off. And he'll be thinking that. But look at that, though. This is good. I like the field positioning here. They know that that's where he's going to bowl the line. That's what he's going to be looking to play. And, oh, that one could have taken his stumps. And Greenshields cannot believe it. It's a lovely delivery. Pitched right up. And it's missed. And I wonder if you can see that again. And it was certainly well bowled. And, well, we're talking about Jaspinder Singh, but he's quite lucky at the moment to be there. Amandeep, he's not really got going himself. He makes a bit of room for himself, comes forward, plays a nice looking shot. And we'll go for a single. So Amandeep to Amandeep, Amandeep the batsman to Amandeep the fielder there. And of course Greenshields, we know all about him from last time in the European Cricket Series. More with the bat than the ball, I have to say. And well, at the moment though, from what he's bowling, you'd think he's more of a bowler than a bat. Hasn't really had an opportunity yet with the bat. I think he's be looking to get in the run soon. But 242 runs he scored in his last European Cricket Series last summer. And he was joined well by the captain. And also by the wicketkeeper, Kuldeep Golia. He scored 170 runs as well. And good key players. And they have got a number of good key players in this team. And, well, the man that... be expecting to see bowl pretty soon as well, Paolo Putsimaza. I think in these conditions he'll be pretty hot as well. But here we're going to Kumar Rohit is going to continue. And well, there's the snick, and that's the wicket, and that's the line you're going to bowl. It's difficult to get away. It's that short of a length, and the batsman's come to have a go, gets a snick, and he's on his way back.
Well, Amandeep was well within his rights to trot up the ante. They were falling behind on the run rate, only going at 5 and over at the moment in pursuit of a total which requires over 10 and over. But it was good bowling from Rowett. That one jumped off the surface a little bit. A couple of the guys that the Werris Cricket Club have given some responsibility in this game have really come to the fore, haven't they? We saw some good batting from Armandeep when he was promoted up the order, and Rowett's been given a couple of the early overs here in the, firstly, the power play, and then obviously this third over. They're stepping up, and that's something that we did question last night, whether they had the depth to really take on the likes of Marlowe and the Gorka 11. They're certainly showing that they've got the capacity this evening.
And that's been thumped. Trying to get it through the gap, not able to. Now, all of a sudden, it's got very bright. The lights are already on, but the sun is just, as it's on its way down, decided to get to a patch where there's no clouds, and it's almost like these, we put another set of floodlights on. In comes...
oh, what a shot. Jasbinder Singh, we've talked about the quality that he has through the cover region. That has rocketed off his piece of willow. Rowett doesn't know what's happened. The ball has gone like a flash, and that's a good 15 metres over the top of the external fence. What a strike.
Oh, this was just beautiful. And I like the way he's gone down. Look at the way the back leg's gone down, got himself into position. The balance was beautiful. What a shot. And, well, then this time, he's a bit disappointed with the shot he offered there. Once again, he should be trying to give himself space and playing the offside. But look, the fielders are there for him. They're not making the same mistake that I think that Indian Royals made to Krut Patel. They were very late in putting the fielders out there on the off stump. They're there already. This one's on the legs, and that was an interesting choice of shots. He didn't try to get inside the ball and play it on the leg side. Nobody there at square leg, so he was quite happy just to follow the ball and play it out and well, get nothing for it.
Well, he's almost premeditating Jasbinder. As much as that was a great strike a couple of balls ago, he is getting his weight outside leg stump, desperately trying to play the ball out through the covers, or at least on the offside. It's worked for him, and it may work for him again. He's found the space just above the Butchimatsa hand. Paolo tried to leap up to either parry that ball or catch it, but Jasbinder hit it just with enough elevation to take it for a 6. Great shot.
Yeah, this was nice. Puri timing sigi. Pata si bande hege piche, but timing achhi si, elevation achhi sigi. Shakka ho gaya. And well, pretty soon here, I think somewhere around us is going to be a magnificent rainbow, because we've got dark clouds, we've got a little bit of rain that's coming back, the sun is shining. And well, this is what FanCode European Cricket is all about. It's all about going to these wonderful destinations, and anything can happen. Anything can happen with the weather. It's happening here. We've seen all the seasons so far in the few days that we've been here in Coimbra, in the Municipal de Mirinda de Corvo. We've seen some excellent cricket, and it's going to continue. Now, this is going to be interesting, because so far I like what Conrad Greenshields does. He likes to have a run up when he bowls, cut it down, and just concentrate on the net. But this bowler, well, he's deciding he's going to go with what he does best.
Well, it's well bowled, just punched out for a single, slides his bat well, it gets through. That's Ishwar Singh, who has joined Jasbinder at the crease, and Hossain bowled a couple of hostile deliveries last night, also a little bit wayward at times, but he is a trump card with the ball for a Werris Cricket Club. Jasbinder on strike. He'll appreciate it if Hossain's pushing it outside off stump. He deliberately puts it on leg stump, tries to get away from Jasbinder's main power area. That's clever bowling from Hossain.
Yeah, it's clever, but well, the last over was good. I mean, they've got the score slightly more where they want it to be. On 28 they were after the 4 overs, but they need to continue along that line. They need to keep getting those boundaries in, otherwise it is going to be very difficult for them.
Hossain comes in full ball. Ishwar leans on it. Just giving the strike to Jasbinder at the moment, which is good batting. Yeah. We talked a lot last night about teams just failing to take singles when they're on offer, and the Indian Royals have actually done a pretty good job with most of the batsmen just taking the option of dropping it and running where they've got the opportunity. Not a huge amount of pressure in the circle to stop those singles, so take them when they're on offer. Hossain full to Jasbinder, swings across the line, bat turns in his hand, ball gets dragged across. Krut Patel coming from the mid-wicket boundary.
Yeah, he's looking to launch, isn't he? Just been there. He's got that thing, got that look about him now. He wants to be at the end where the action is. He wants to play shots. He doesn't want to get cold. He doesn't want to be where he is at the moment at the non-striker's end. Hussein, that's well bowled, pitched up well. It's nicely played as well. And well, just as well, just been there, was watching, because that's gone straight to the fielder. And if he was any further out, he would have found himself stuck. And that's the other thing batsmen have to be careful with here, Andrew, because if you're backing up, if you go too much, by the time you turn to come back, if you slip, you lose your footing, you're stranded.
Very true, Rico. You've got to be definitive with your calls, and that was well fielded by the skipper, G2. Was saying short, but that rolls through at low height. Ishwar was more than entitled to try to hoik that over the leg side, but as it is, he's had his stumps knocked off their perch. And another wicket falls. That's the third man down for the Indian Royals. Jasbinder single-handedly trying to hold this innings together. And Hussain, we talked about him as a game breaker. That's a good wicket.
It's a very good wicket. Good bowling here. Look, watch this again. The batsman just trying to give himself room by going down the leg side. It was one of those that you needed to be hitting straight. It did stay a little bit lower, but still, I think his positioning wasn't right in the first place. I think it would have got through him. So, wrong choice of shot there from Ishwar Singh, so he's on his way back, just scoring 3 runs. So somebody's got to stay there and support the man Jasbinder Singh. Otherwise, they could find that Jasbinder is going to feel too much pressure on his own shoulders and maybe play a rash shot himself.
Very true. Although, interesting choice here in terms of the selection of the next bowler from G2. So, Paolo Buchimata, excellent bowler, has taken, I think, 5 wickets already in the 2 games last night. However, he was relatively expensive in most of his overs. Bowled a few too many full ones, and there we go. Jasbinder has created room, hoiked it out to the leg side, and that is a short boundary, and that is the danger of this choice. Yeah. Paolo just drops a little bit short or bowls a couple of full tosses as he did last night. Jasbinder is good enough to take him to the cleaners over to that short leg side boundary.
Yeah, that was a quality shot because the ball stayed pretty low, but he was still able to keep his eye on it. It wasn't a hoik, it was a shot, and that's the difference. When you hoik, you're not looking. When you're playing a shot, you're looking. Good shot.
Another short one. Almost swings himself off his feet. That's gone about a metre down the leg side. Paolo struggling with his control with this wet pill. Yeah,
he is, but Buchimata will be happy that the dangerous batsman Jasbinder Singh is now at the non-striker's end, and he's going to be able to bowl his first ball to Jatinder Singh.
Oh, that's gone through to the keeper. And as the scores ticked over to 40, Rico, I think that's actually an opportune time to wish my very good friend Mark Conlon a 40th birthday today. He's a big fan of the European Cricket League from where he's living out in Mexico at the moment. He's one of the best boxers, one of the best French-Irish boxers that has come through in the last decade.
Well,
but
there you go.
Obviously starting to wind down on his physical career and passing on his many gifts in that area to the youngsters in Mexico at the moment. As Jasbinder's just popped that one up, it's going to be a single, no chance for the fielder. Coming up, actually, they're going to push 2. That's good running. Armandeep a little bit slow and stumbled as he came in to collect the ball. But Mark's recently moved out to Mexico in the last year or so with his lovely wife Jamie, and he's remarkably turning 40, and so the younger George Clooney is now in the same decade that I am, and that makes me very happy. That also makes me happy because Jasbinder has got back safely, and he is a crucial part of keeping this game interesting for the next couple of overs, and they really need him to not be giving away his wicket through an unnecessary run out.
That was really crazy because first look, I mean, I don't know if you can see it from the bowler's end again, but it was very wide and it was going to be a wide ball, and well, Jasbinder managed to get a toe end of the bat to it, and there was never a single straight to the fielder, and he got himself in a bit of a muddle. He was lucky. This one, well, he's going to need some more luck. Fielder's coming in. Where's the ball going to drop? Oh, he gets the luck, but they want to take the 2. There's got to be out here, surely. Oh, he's gone for the wrong end. Well, interesting period of play there. The ball went in the air. I don't think the fielder would have done very well to get to it, but when he's picked up the ball, he's thrown to the wrong end.
Well, Robert seeing he was the man coming in, and so that's been an error from both fielders coming in from the long off and the long on boundary and that over. Jaspinda twice hasn't timed the ball that he's wanted to, but full credit to his partner, Jatinder Singh. He knows the value of getting Jaspinda as much strike as possible. And we'll turn now just to the fantasy dashboard for the next game. So tonight, the Indian Royals won the toss and they've elected to bat first. And Rico, we know how important that is in the game under lights.
That's a big toss to win. And you've just seen those teams there again. And obviously, we've already got a good idea of the Irish teams. And I think they'll be disappointed about that toss, that's for sure. And the Royal Indians, we've seen them. Well, they've got to really get going here now because, look, 37 in 12 balls. It's got to be all about the boundaries. And at the moment, well, that's a good ball to get in first time, isn't it? Dot ball from Green Shields using his experience. And this one, well, he's almost tried to lock.
Jatinder, don't worry about picking up your bat, son. Just run to the other end. Yeah. He's had a difficult time, and he's run between the wickets with great hustle, but he looked like a 5-year-old on ice skates in the last over, slipping over as he came into the non-striker's end. He's dropped his bat there and decided to pick it up. Not your priority, as Green Shields puts that about a foot outside off stump, and Jatinder can't take advantage. But he did the right thing, got Jatinder back on strike. They've got 9 balls left in this contest. Couple of big sixes needed soon. Good bowling from Green Shields.
Very good, very clever. He's putting the ball. And the good thing about this as well, he's not giving him the height to play the shot he likes to. As you can see, the ball is staying pretty low. He's keeping the pace off it. Very clever bowling from Green Shields.
Oh, hat's popped off a length. Kuldeep putting his hand over his mouth almost in disbelief at that delivery.
Well, what can you say? I was just saying he's just bowled 2 deliveries, not giving him any real chance to play the cut shot. No good bounce on the ball, and that one has just taken off. Well, Jaspinda probably has no idea where this is going to be, and he just commits himself to play the shot. And batsman, you know he's got to go after it. It's difficult, but the bowling, credit to Green Shields. He bowled very, very well, and what an over that was.
Well, second last over of the innings, and he's kept the Indian Royals premier batsman to 4 consecutive dots. Yeah. That is exceptional bowling from Conrad.
Yeah, and well, unless anything really spectacular happens here, they've certainly, well, we were thinking this yesterday, so maybe we're talking too soon, but certainly they've got their first victory in this FanCode Portugal T10.
Yeah, and it'd be a well-deserved victory, Rico. They really, really pressed hard with the bat. I was impressed with the opening pair of Armandeep, and in particular Krup Patel, continuing his spectacular tournament to date. As Jatinder drags that one to the leg side, they'll just take the single and give Jaspinda the small chance of chasing down this total by keeping the strike. He will need a succession of Zacks to take this to the wire.
Yeah, but listen, it's still important for them to get as close as they can, because one thing that could be very important later on in this series is the net run rate.
It's not a bad shot from Jaspinda. Pops over the top. They should look for 2. No, he'll take the opportunity to stay at the non-striker's end, not choosing to take on the Butchie Matza rocket from out there at the point boundary.
Yeah, question for you. I mean, I've been reading some of the info on the players, but of course you've had the opportunity to see them. We'll go on to it after this delivery. Yeah, maybe now. I'm surprised that the captain's not come out. Sukhwinder, I've heard that he's a big hard hitter of the ball. Would these conditions not suit him?
Admittedly, we didn't see Sukhwinder bat that much in Qatar show. No, he was generally down the lower to middle order for the Royals. So no, I haven't seen too much of him with the blade. And admittedly, Jaspinda batted so well in Qatar show that actually there wasn't a great deal of balls for the rest of his team. He really did dominate proceedings. But I will say that when it comes to the second game, I think the Royals will be relatively comfortable with how they're positioned. I think they absolutely gave away probably 10 to 15 more runs than they would have anticipated in that first game. They looked almost like every team has in game 1. They just looked slightly off the pace. But you bring that total down to something like 65, and then they've obviously decelerated in this last section here. I actually don't think they're that far away, and they probably just need a little bit more of a disciplined bowling performance in game 2.
Yeah, says Group Patel. It's just really going for the formalities now. So it's been a fantastic comeback. And on that note, he knocks the timber over. The castle has been raided, and another wicket goes down. And that also, I believe, is the end of this first match. So congratulations to Irish. It's their first victory. They didn't have the best of days yesterday, losing both their matches, and it was the way that they lost the second one that was so disappointing. I know when we were talking to some of their players afterwards, they were really disappointed, and they were quite disheartened, saying, look, if you can't get 6 runs with wickets in hand off the last over and win, well, you don't deserve to win any games. But they came out today with a different mindset, a different attitude. I like the changes they made with the batting order, and it paid dividends. That's a very good win because they've kept a good team, Indian Royals, to under 50 runs in their 8 overs. So congratulations to them, and certainly they'll be looking forward to the second match here and believing they can go on and win that one too.
Absolutely, a very popular team, where a great team spirit, and I'm sure they had some genuinely open discussions and transparent chats about what went wrong yesterday, and particularly with the senior group. I suspect they would have really rallied around the younger players during the course of today, got them in the right mindset, got them through that period where there was a bit of a question, would the game go ahead, wouldn't it, how much would the rain affect it, and they've put on a thoroughly professional display. It was really impressive, and it's great to have them get their tournament back on track, Rico.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and sometimes, you know, you just need a little bit of luck, which they probably didn't get yesterday, and well, they had that luck with that wicket of Manjeet when he somehow managed to play the ball onto his own stumps. Well, this man, he was hitting the ball very, very well. That was one of a couple of big sixes that he hit, but even with him batting well and scoring runs, he scored 30 of those runs. It still wasn't enough to try and help his team to get close to that target of 82. And well, the bowlers did bowl very well. Hussain, no, I was wondering whether he was going to try and just cut back his line and just try and bowl something different the way Conrad Greenshields did, but no, he just charged in, and well, he hit the timber. That's what he does, and that's what he does well. And well, this was the opportunity, I think, that the Indian Royals had. They had to take on the spin of Buchi Matza, and they did pretty well. They went after him, and he did go for just 13 off that over. And I think a lot of that was because Jasbinder just couldn't get onto strike. But credit to the bowling. I think the bowlers kept their line right. This is the other wicket that's going down here. And, well, all you can say is well done. And, well, we're certainly going to be looking forward to the second game. But before we do you want to go through some of the statistics for us, Em?
I'd love to, Rico. Thank you for the generous invitation. So it's a relatively short batting card. Only the 4 wickets down, probably helped by the fact that we only had an 8-over game because of the late start as a result of the rain. But Amandeep Singh, he opened up with Manjeet Singh to get the Indian Royals innings kicked off. Neither of them troubled the scorers particularly. Amandeep was out, caught Kuldeep, the wicket-keeper, off the bowling of Kumar Rohit for 4 off 8 balls, whereas Manjeet was clean bowled by Rohit for 2 off 4. So they didn't get off to a particularly positive start. Jasbinder struggled to find his feet early, but a couple of lusty blows, including a stunning strike over the exterior fence here at this Miranda de Corvo ground, certainly accelerated him along, and he was out of the final ball of the innings off the bowling of Krut Patel, who is certainly putting himself in pole position to be tournament MVP at the moment. He has been absolutely outstanding. And then to finish off the card, Ishwar Singh, he did well trying to get Jasbinder back on strike as much as he could during the later sections of the innings before he was bowled by Hussain for 3 off 5. And then Jatinder came out to finish off the innings. He was not out, 4 off 7. Rico, would you like to take us through the bowling analysis for the Awarish Swans?
Yeah, very much so. Look, I think they all bowled very well. You mentioned already Krut Patel, and he was fantastic once more, wasn't he? 2 overs, just 8 runs for 1 wicket, and he was supported by Kumar Rohit as well. His 2 overs went for 16, but once more 2 wickets there. The other wicket taker was Hussain. You saw what he did there. He just kept the ball nice and tight. Interestingly, only required just to bowl the 1 over. So I think they did the right thing there. They got the slower bowlers to bowl their overs out first. I mean, they did try with Paolo. Paolo didn't really come off, so they went back to Conrad Greenshields. I don't think he bowled really well as well. No wickets, but look, when you can bowl your 2 overs and just go for 7 runs in a match like that, you've really done a fantastic job. So well done to the teams there. And also, I think we should also take the opportunity before we sign off for this match to say well done to the ground staff here. Peter Robinson, the groundsman, and the likes of Conrad, Bruno and Paolo done a fantastic job. We've had a lot of rain, but they did excellent work. They kept the pitch nice and dry. They made sure that everything was ready for us to start off with. So well done, guys. You certainly have done your job well, and because of that hard work, we've seen some brilliant cricket here in the night time.
We have full credit to both teams, actually. That was a very, very difficult game to play in the wet conditions, and they actually showed a great deal of skill, determination and fight to provide us with a great contest. And they get the opportunity to do it all again. We have Game 2 coming up, Rico, and I actually fancy the chances of the Indian Royals in that Game 2. They've got the opportunity to put a score on the board. We've seen and we've said it every night so far. It is difficult to chase under the floodlights. It will be even more so tonight when there is a lot of moisture still around, both in the atmosphere and on the ground.
Yeah, so there you go. You've seen the daytime in Milan. Well, this is all about the Noite de Fiesta here in Portugal, nighttime cricket. And we're certainly going to be playing in the night soon. The light is going quickly. The floodlights have been on all the way through, but it will be pitch dark here halfway through this second match. So join us again. I'm Rico Ford, joined of course by Andrew Ryan. This is FanCode Portugal T10. We'll be right back in under 10 minutes time for the next match.
Raiders, the home team, and Indian Royals.
Head. It's head.
That is heads.
So, game 2, the Indian Royals have won the all-important coin toss. They have chosen to bat first in the big game under lights. Friday night, it's a great time for European cricket. Come and join us for game 2. Let's go back to Rico in the central commentary area.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And yes, it is game 2. This is match number 8, excuse me, between these two teams. And, well, the first blood went to Irish. They've managed to get their first win, and they'll be very happy about that indeed after, well, after being disappointed yesterday, especially with the second game against Marlow, when they were certain they were in for victory. They were a bit down and disheartened, but they've come back strong this morning, or this evening, I should say, getting everything wrong here. It's this time scale. It's these late nights. Anyway, no, but yeah, they've done very well. I think they've performed well as a team, and it doesn't look like they're going to make any changes to the pattern in which they won that victory. So it's going to be Group Patel who's going to open the bowling. Very impressed with him so far with his bowling and his batting. He certainly is proved to be a key player for them. Indian Royals, well, they are batting first, so that's the change here. This match, things roll reverse, so they're going to be putting the score on the board. And we found so far that the team that's batted first in these in this last match, where we are going to be playing pretty soon in pitch darkness, they're the team that go on to do well. They managed to restrict teams. We saw that yesterday, even with that low score of 78. It ended up being enough just. But they'll be looking to set a good score. I was speaking to their captain, to Sukhwinder Singh, and Sukhwinder was saying to me that they obviously are more used to playing the longer format of the game. So it takes them just to make some adjustments, but he's hoping that the batsmen will get going in this match. He said we had some early nerves, early pressure. Obviously, it's the first game you're playing and you're being watched by our global audience, millions of people around the world. So pressure does show. Here we go, the first ball, and it's a good one. Did a bit of movement there, and you can see that. That's good work. The keeper had to go a long way to take it. And well, I do like the look of Kuldeep as well. I think he's a very good player. So certainly good behind those stumps. Just do a little bit of stretching here. So Manjeet Singh, he'll be hoping not to be out in similar fashion as he was last time. Well, this is up in the air, and he's got lucky. He really has. He just managed to get enough on that to chip the field. And you just get the feeling there that if one of those fielders was actually on the circle, as opposed to well in, and that was a catch. So the first opportunity. He gets off the mark though, he'd be pleased about that. So Mohammed Saeed is now on strike. Patel, well, that's not a good delivery down the leg side and will be signalled as a wide. Called it, make sure that's all it is. Not able to get anything further on that. Just have a look at the field here. So long on is all the way back, and also Cow, a man at Cow corner. They're the two men that are allowed out in the power play. So back to the normal format. The first match between these two was shortened because of rain before the match. We also had a little bit at the start of it, but not enough to stop the match, which was good. So this one back to the normal format, T10. So this is the power play, 3 overs. Only 2 men allowed out. Group Patel once more. And that's a good ball. And not very clever batting. It should be all about partnerships. It's all about getting bat onto ball and just taking the singles. And trying to hit big straight away. And I think even if he had made contact there, that was just going to go up in the air and wasn't going to get too much distance. This one, he's absolutely clobbered and it's gone a long way. Shaka Lagya Kinna Sona. That is nice. And that's what we're talking about. This was a beautiful shot. Well, completely different, a little bit wider. Look, he had the width, so he was able to get the swing in. And, well, when you swing hard like that and you get the middle, it's going to go all the way. So that's 6 runs, the first boundary of the innings. That's a bit more like it. That's what Indian Royals need to be doing. Group Patel maybe under a little bit of pressure with this ball. but gets this one, and this is hit straight and hard. That is a beautiful shot. Balle, balle, 6 carreras. What a lovely shot that was. Got into position beautifully and sent it. Look, no messing around. He knew where that was going. And what a great start. And that's 14 off the first over. And that one's come right on cue as my partner in crime, Andrew Ryan. Rhino himself is coming into the commentary box. Well, what about those two big hits?
Geez, I missed a bit of action, didn't I, Rico? That was a pair of stunning strikes from Mohamed Saad. Had played and missed a succession of balls to open the over, but he's absolutely mulleted a pair of sixes, and that's a great start for Indian Royals. And after struggling to get their run rate up in the last game, that is precisely what they need. Great start.
Yeah, very good start, some good hitting. And Hussein, well, he's going to hopefully put an end to it. In he comes. And just starting a little bit leg side-ish. Just it will take the leg by, I think that will be.
I'd love to see that a bit more from the Indian Royals, just trying to get their feet on this pitch. Take the singles while they're there. You don't have to hit every single ball for a boundary. Albeit, I suggest Saad will be looking at that straight boundary once again, given how cleanly he struck it in the last over. Hussein comes in, full ball, gets underneath the bat, almost into the block hole.
Yeah, you can see that's what he's trying to do. That's his shot. It just didn't get in the right line there. Just needed to get his front foot out, a little bit more out towards the off stump, and then play this shot. Look, no real foot movement, and hence nowhere near it in the end.
The angle Hussein comes in, you've really got to be determined to play him through the covers rather than try to take him leg side. And that is on cue. That is a brilliant strike. Mohamed Saad, his third 6 of this very short innings. What ball striking.
Absolutely fantastic. Que grande, que genial. Well, he's a man on a mission. मेरे ख्याल आया था दोपहर दे परोंठे खाधे आ हुन हजम हो गया हुन तालक हो गया छक्के तंगे चंगे मारदा. And you're absolutely right. 3 big shots, and well, they need an answer to this, and pretty quickly. Hussein, what's he got?
Isn't it beautiful seeing that fresh white kookaburra fly across the Portuguese sky? It's a beautiful sight indeed, and a sight that was very much desired from Awaris Cricket Club. Hussein managing to beat the bat of Saad, albeit helped by the pitch, which has sent a molly grubber rolling through to the keeper. That is fortunate for Saad that it was not on his stumps. Hussein comes in, 4th ball. Not a bad length, but he's stepped forward and he's taken the advice again of going over the covers. Superb strike, and he's hitting it cleanly.
This was a beautiful shot. Now, look, what it is a slight change, I think, from Irish, the way they're thinking. They've gone with pace early on, and, well, these batsmen are liking it. That is a terrific shot. It's all about getting into position, used his feet. Now, quite often we see we're critical of batsmen swinging the bat but not using his feet. That was just classy. Great hit.
Well, it suggests with the way he's striking at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised to see Greenshields come on and bowl the 3rd over. Not to come on with any sort of express pace, but just see if he can get the ball moving sideways and try to diffuse the threat that is Mohamed Saad at present. 4 big bombs so far in the first 2 overs. Hussein comes in. Full ball, manages to dig it out, looks for the single, but his partner very sensibly sends him back.
Well, he sent him back. He sent him to the ground as well. That was a beauty. I mean, look, you've just been hit. You've seen a batsman is taking you apart, and you come back with a Yorker length delivery like that. That was a good ball to end the over.
Well, for a team that struggled to make 50 in the first game, albeit off 8 overs, 27 for no wicket in the first 12 balls of this game. That's a superb start, Rico.
It's a great start, and you're absolutely right. Because it is a great start, the game for Greenshields straight away. And, well, the captain would have just said, look, you just got to get the ball on the length, try and stop this flow of runs. And that won't help. That will be a wide ball.
Some swing there for Greenshields, though. As much as he will be unhappy with the wide, he'll be pleased to see that the kookaburra is giving him some sideways movement.
Greenshields going to get the ball outside the off stump. That's where he needs to be, and that's better.
Hoiked over the top, great catch,
brilliant.
Hussein. He's come around from the short mid-wicket position. That was Manjit Singh trying to hoik the ball over to the leg side. He's taken a good catch considering that ball probably had a bit of moisture on it. Excellent fielding from Hussain.
Yeah, very good catch. He's anticipated that as well, got to the right position, still had to take it, and a good ball as well from Conrad. There was that movement again we're talking about, starting outside the off stump, coming in, and the batsman, well, didn't quite get as much on it as he would like, but it's still a very good catch. It's going over his head, he's taken it, and well, they've broken the partnership that was looking like it was going to sting them.
Absolutely, Rico. It's sometimes the most effective way to deal with the situation of having two batters who are really striking it cleanly and attacking your bowlers. The sideways movement just means that you get those slightly mistimed balls, and particularly when they're trying to hit on the leg side. And Conrad's got quite a nice little bit of in-swing on that last ball. He's caused the false shot, and Hussain has helped him out with a good catch at mid-wicket. So, Jasminder Singh, the star of the Indian Royals at the crease. He plays a miss to start with. He did have a little bit of trouble outside off stump in the first game, albeit he managed to make up for it with a couple of lusty blows. But this is probably a really big mini battle within this game as it is. If Greenshields can get Singh early, then that's going to put Awaris right back on top in this game. Not a bad length ball, just pokes it out for a single. I like the play.
Yeah, now this would be interesting for me because we know that Mohamed Saad, he's tried to hit straight, and he's not really moving his feet too much, relying a lot on his iron power. And I think if Greenshield gets that ball right up there with that movement into him, he's got a very good chance of knocking those stumps over.
Well, he's just moved long on around. I suspect this is going to be another big in-swinger. He's dropped short, pulled it around. Misfield from Hussain. So good only a couple of balls ago, but allows the two. And Saad can get himself back down the striker's end. Probably not the ball that Greenshields wanted to come up with. It was a little bit short, but not too much damage in the end.
Yeah, he's got away with it. It's a bit unfortunate Hussain letting that one go through. But, well, gets another chance. Can he get this one full right up there? And that's a much better delivery, much better line. Outside that off, and not allowing Mohamed Saad to get that shot in the drive. Two men are back for it, but the way he's hit him so far, well, he's finding the middle and he's got the power as well.
Well, Greenshield's not giving him any half volleys until that ball taken a big swing, hasn't timed it perfectly. That's well fielded. Looks like Krut Patel continuing his massive array of contributions to the Awaris club in this Portugal T10, brought to you by FanCode. We're here with you for 23 consecutive nights at the wonderful Miranda de Corvo Stadium for a buffet of T10 cricket. 2 games every single night. Please continue to join us for some spectacular action from this wonderful region of Portugal. It's been a bright start to this game, Rico.
Yeah, it's been a good start. And look, you know, okay, that was a great over from Greenshields, but at the moment, the Indian Royals, they're still going at that 10 and over. That's where they want to be. You've got 2 batsmen now. We know about Jasminder. We saw what he can do in the first match. And, well, Mohamed Saad is saying, well, look, I can play a few shots. So this is going to be an interesting partnership for me. Saying comes and he's got this one gone a long way up in the air. Here's something going to get there. It is going to drop right in the middle. That is absolutely amazing. That's gone so high. I think it's come down with snow on it.
Well, Saad is going to be very happy about the fact that that has dropped short of the oncoming fielder. Amandeep is pretty quick over the turf, but even he couldn't make it in. May have needed G2 to swing around from covers. It would have been a tough catch going back over his head. That is a life, and they've escaped through for 2 runs as well. Saad tries to flay off the back foot. No success.
Yes, I mean, that went a long way up. I mean, his head went up on that. You just imagine if he had managed to keep his head nice and straight and good positioning and he hit that one, that would still be going somewhere.
Did get some serious elevation. Rowett charges in. Better length ball. Head's gone up again. It's going to be a good catch. I think it might be Foster running back at the short third man position. That's a wicket that Awaris really needed. If Mohamed Saad had stayed out there for a few more overs and launched a couple of more lusty blows, this target could have gotten out of hand. But as it is, Rowett manages to induce a few false shots from him. He was fortunate at the start of this over, but not the same luck again. And that's a key wicket for Awaris Cricket Club. They now have 2 players from the Indian Royals are back in the pavilion, although Jaspinder Singh hasn't had too much strike, but he is still there, and he will be the rock around which the Royals will be trying to build their innings.
Yeah, it's all down to him now, isn't it? I was very impressed with Mohammed Saeed. I was saying that I just get the feeling that this is what we haven't seen too much of. We've seen it a little bit from Patel. I think Andani did it for Gurkha in the very first day. I think batsmen just have to have a little bit of belief and confidence in themselves and go out playing them shots. And well, Mohammed Saeed has just done that, and this man Jaspinder, we know he can as well. And he's played that cheekily.
I like it, Rico. That's the area that he's struggled to score in today. He hasn't tried to overhit it, just nudged it down to third man position. No fielder down there, and they can take an easy 2. Well batted, Jaspinder.
Well, that was naughty but nice. Just like the nun's belly. And we know what we're talking about there, don't we? The nun's belly.
Explain it to me, Rico.
Well, there's different names for it. We'll talk about it in a second. But yeah, just keep that in your mind. And that's well bowled. Good comeback. Yeah, so we've got things like the nun's belly, barrigas de feria. Or we've also got papas de angel, angel's double chin. And we've also got tocino de siu, I think they say. The fat from heaven. Of course, we are talking about these delicious pastries that you get here. And, well, they are beautiful, and I love them every morning. And, well, they love giving them to me. Everybody else ends up with 1, and I end up with 2 or 3. I got 3 this morning, these pastels de nata. They are to die for.
I can't believe there is a food that has been given the name the Angel's Double Chin. That is outstanding. And if you ever need a reminder of the contribution to both the culinary and cultural world by Portugal, the Angel's Double Chin has to really be the top of the list.
Yeah, well, look, it wasn't long ago that I was in Bologna, and of course Bologna was known as La Grassa. It was known as La Grassa d'Italia, the fat of Italy, because of all the pastas, the ragu sauce. And, oh, that's a beauty. Well, that is lovely jubbly as well. And Greenshields comes in and takes a prize wicket there. What a wicket that is to get now.
Well, it's not, yeah, as you say, it's not just a lovely bit of bowling. It's a massive wicket in the context of this game. Greenshields managing to squeeze one through the defences of Jaspinder. And after a rocket start, they have managed to get the Indian Royals back under control. They are 3 wickets down for 37 after the first ball of the 4th over. Great comeback from Awaris, and boy, these T10 games just can change so quickly, can't they, Rico? A fantastic start. I think we had 27 off the first 2 overs for the Indian Royals. Now in the last 7 balls, they have scored 10 runs and lost 3 wickets.
Yeah, and big wickets as well. I mean, that's just clever bowling again from Conrad Greenshields. Not trying to bowl too fast, just getting the ball in the right areas. And there we go, that's another one. And the batsman will take the buys. That one just didn't come up at all. And you can see that the wicketkeeper, Kuldeep Gulia, is just a little bit disappointed. He knows he should have done perhaps better. But you've got 2 new batsmen in there now. So really, Irish are back on top again.
I notice Greenshield's not swinging the ball as much, both this over and the back end of the last one. I wonder if he's actually holding the ball cross seam, just focusing on control, trying to bowl wicket to wicket. If he is, it's a smart tactic in these conditions. The ball easily sliding out of the hand, difficult to control even when you're not trying to swing the kookaburra, but he's bowled very consistently and just focused on line and length for the last couple of deliveries. Once again, getting rewarded. He's hit that spot where the ball jumps a bit.
Yeah, he's bowling very well, very intelligently. He's showing what an experienced cricketer he is. I mean, you were saying to us yesterday when you were talking about him that he's played a lot of good cricket, got good top-level cricket, and he's putting that in experience where it matters. And there you go again. Balle knocks the stumps down and out of the ground. That is a spicy delivery. And, well, a little bit of piri-piri there, knocking him over. And these stumps are taking a battering.
Well, not sure that shot was on, Rico. You've just lost 3 wickets in the previous over and a half. Just push your way through to the end of this over. Greenshields bowling a good line and length. He's putting the pressure back on the batsman to create length, to create shots. And they've just gifted them a 4th wicket. It's not good batting.
It's not good batting. And, well, I'll tell you what. That pond is full of water. It's a few ducks joining it now here as well. And that was a duck from Kumar. Not an intelligent shot. Not one that's going to help out your side when you need them just to rebuild.
Absolutely. Green Shields really put the Awaris side on his back in these 2 overs. Turned the game around immensely. That's his 3rd wicket. 2 of them clean bowled. And in particular, the wicket of Jaspinder Singh is the prize when playing this Indian Royals side. Looks like Rohit's coming in for his 2nd over. Bowled a pretty good first over. Only 5 runs from it with the 1 wicket. But Green Shields finishing with the ridiculous figures of 3 wickets for 6 runs. That is a superb 2 over spell.
It's absolutely wonderful. Great bowling. And what he's done is used his head. He's looked at the conditions. He said, this is what I need to do. He's learnt from the first match, and he's just done it marvellously well. But look here, you've still got Amandeep Singh. He's coming now. He opened the last game. He looked pretty solid. And you got Naki now as well, Syed Ali Naki. Both of these can bat, but they've got to show a little bit more maturity than the batsmen that have come in before them.
Well, they frittered away what was an excellent start, largely because of Mohammad Saad. He ended up 29 off only 15 deliveries with 4 mighty sixes. But apart from that, there have been meagre contributions from the rest of the batting lineup.
And, well, we've seen that so many times, haven't we, Andrew? It's that delivery just short of a length outside the off stump. And most of the batsmen, the only one that's actually been able to do anything with it is just been that all the others just played and missed it.
Yep, just no foot movement there, just flashing out. That ball was actually quite short too. It hasn't jumped off a good length like we've seen on many occasions. That's popped up. Fielders coming in from point. Fortunately, can't complete the catch.
Well, that
was Kapitil Surendra Kumar, who fumbled what should have been a relatively straightforward chance. May have gotten lost in the floodlights. I'm sure that's what he'll be telling the bowler. Rohit comes in again. Could that be a let-off that the Royals needed? Struck that nicely down the ground. Amandeep has come in 10 or 15 metres completely unnecessarily. Rico, how many times have we talked about outfielders coming in too far? That was a nicely struck shot, but it was very difficult for him to retreat given where he was in the infield.
Now, we talked about this, haven't we? I think every evening we've been here, we're saying, look, these fielders that are back, surely they need to be on the line. And you said it's something that really is a bugbear with you. It is with me as well. If he's where he needs to be, he's taking that catch.
Absolutely. Oh,
would you believe it? How has that? Well, we've seen some amazing things. We saw Manpreet Singh get himself out in the first innings for the Indian Royals. Now that one, how do you get that onto your stumps from there?
That's absolutely stunning. It feels like they're playing a game of pinball out there at times. He's backed away down the leg side. Rohit has followed him. Pretty good piece of bowling, but that is cannoned back onto his off stump. That is mightily unfortunate, and Amandeep somewhat let off the hook by a piece of good fortune off the bowling of Rohit.
Yes, he's got to go another wicket. So, well, we said that these two had to put a partnership together. They put a few runs on the board, but, well, he hit a nice shot, gets a boundary. Maybe he was fortunate with that as well, with the fielder being in the wrong position, but he's on his way back, or he's back now already. So, well, are we going to see a collapse here after such a great start? This time just played respectfully back down the wicket, and maybe these two batsmen now, they've got to have a little chat with each other and say, look, come on, Syed Ali Naki, he can certainly bat a bit, we know that, but it's all about what his partner can do, who's out there with him now.
Well, Ishwar's come to join him. He actually showed a good bit of class in the first game. Definitely has some capability to knock around the singles, and perhaps that's their best bet at the moment. In these conditions, if they can get to total to 75 or thereabouts, it's certainly defendable, but they've now only got 4 overs to go. The score, 5 wickets down for 45 runs, 24 balls. Can they get it up to 70? Hussain coming in for his second over. Big left armour. Full outside off stump. Batsman treats it as though it was a leg stump half volley.
Yeah, but again, there no backing up. You've got to take those now at this stage. You're finding runs difficult to get. You're losing wickets, and when you get the opportunities like that, you've got to take them. No backing up there at all.
Couldn't agree more with you, Rico. As soon as that keeper fumbles the ball, the non-striker's got to be alert. He's not even backing up. That's punched down the ground. Full toss. It might be called a no ball. Rowett coming in off the boundary. It's just a single, and the square leg umpire has his arm out. So this is going to be a free hit. So a great way for Ishwar to get his batting journey started. Free hit, and this might be the gift that they need. So just Hussein's going to come up and try to really push this across off stump. Might be thinking that if he can just get the ball squeezed out of third man, that's a much better result than being pumped for a 6. What can Ishwar do? Short on the leg. It's gone leg side. Not called wide. Must have tickled the rear end of the batsman. We'll have to have a look at that on the replay.
Yeah, I wonder if you can see that again. He must have made some contact. We probably may not have time to, as the bowler's already got the ball back in his hands. But yeah, I mean, there's no real complaint from the batsman either. So I think he must have got a little bit something on there. This is hit hard. But again, that was not clever batting. You see the ball, it's going, oh, and this doesn't look clever either. The throw could have been better. There's still an opportunity if I run out. But somehow they get back. So not, well, we saw not good cricket the ball before. Should have just quite easily accepted the wide by stepping inside and still having a free hit to come his way. Got nothing on the free hit, and then there, well, the fielding should have only been 1 run. They scrambled and get 2.
Well, I like the hustle of Saeed. I'm just surprised by it. There hasn't been the same urgency in their running for most of the game, but
yeah,
good on him for pushing the 2. Hussein comes in. It's a better line, better length from him. Ball just squeezed out. It's going to be a single as the skipper G2 comes around to collect. It's been a pretty tidy over from Hussein so far.
Yeah, he's getting the ball in the right areas. I think the key thing here is they know that the Indian Royals will be wanting boundaries. They'll want to accelerate. They'll be looking to get the score to around about 80 if they can. But by keeping the squeeze on, it's going to be difficult. This one's certainly been hit hard. The fielder is in play. Gets down. No mistakes there. Just an easy pick up and throw.
Oh, Butchimatsa with the long barrier. Any of you kids out there watching on the European Cricket Network or through FanCode at the moment, if you want an example of excellent outfielding technique, then just reverse the stream by 10 seconds and have a look at Paolo Butchimatsa's work.
Yeah, very good experienced player as well. Played for the Portuguese national side as well. We're saying, this, again, look, this is just not clever from the batters. That's very, very wide. It's going to be going down the leg side. All you've got to do is step inside it and say, thank you very much, I'll take the 1 run and I'll take the extra ball. And instead he's let it hit him. Okay, they've gone through for the leg bye, but they need to be a little bit smarter in the way they're trying to get these runs.
So what do you know what the name of the Portuguese national team is, Rico?
No, I couldn't tell you.
Okay,
Is there a story there?
I think we should start a petition to call them the Portugal Angels Chins.
What, double chin?
Double chin.
Yeah,
sorry, Angels double chins.
Angels double chin.
I think that
yeah.
that would be one of the, it would certainly be quite a logo you could come up with for that, and it would certainly be unique in the sporting world. I don't think even in the depths of minor league baseball there would be a team with the reference to double chins in their name. So if you're on the YouTube chat with us, then feel free to suggest what you think the Portuguese national cricket team should be called, and to be honest, if you can beat Angels double chin, then good luck to you.
Yeah, the Angels double chin. I think Nun's Belly. That's not bad.
Nun's Belly is
Belly.
Maybe we could use that as the women's team name rather than
That's
the
a good one. Yeah, I don't know if the women's will like it too much, but anyway, yeah. Let us know in the chat. It's good to have you out there. And back in the action, and he certainly hit this hard. And the fielders will come across. Well, look at that bit of skid action as well as the throw comes in from Hussein. And good work. And it's all tiki-taka at the moment, and tiki-taka is not going to hurt the fielding side. They're stopping these boundaries. Is somebody going to be able to get them from somewhere? We shall see. Sunil Kumar, the bowler, comes again. Interesting action, and well, that's big.
Interesting but
support.
effective.
Yeah, interesting but effective. Good support as well from his teammates. Uresh, they're feeling good here now. They know they've got the squeeze on. Something special has to happen, and has to happen pretty soon. Well, he's giving himself a little bit of room, the batsman. Will they try and come back? Will they hustle? And, well, one of them is prepared to, the other's not, and he would have been right to do so. that little bit of pressure applied by just him turning back and making it look like he was going for a second was enough to make the fielder get the throw in quick, but it was way over, called it. And I think that was that Green Shields. I think he's gone down, perhaps slid a little bit as well as he's got the throw in.
Well, certainly a moment of concern as he was tentative getting up. Looks like his knee might have jammed into the ground, but seems to be walking without assistance at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on him. But this has been a pretty good over from Sunil Kumar. As you say, intriguing, unique action, and he's not coming out with a great deal of pace, but the variation in the pitch is helping him, and the batsman certainly not taking him to task to date. Kumar comes in. Charge. Ball popped up out of the offside. Field is going backwards. Surendra Kumar has taken a magnificent snare. The man who dropped an absolute dolly earlier in the evening, hasn't he made up for it? That's a classic catch if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, good catch. Look, he's absolutely thumped it. He's gone backwards. He's taken it. Now he dropped a much easier one than that. And you got to feel for him, really. Kapil Surundakuma, because he really wanted to celebrate and all the players wanted to celebrate with him, but good on him. He remembered the protocols and said, no guys, we can't do it. And but hey, top catch, and well, all we can say to Surundakuma, don't worry, you can go back and watch it over and over again. That's the beauty of these FanCode European Cricket Series. It's up there and it's up there forever. You can go back and show it to whoever you want, and it's never going away.
Some players who might regret the fact that it's never going away. I remember dropping a catch in the in one of our early games in the St Gallen tournament last year. And speaking of big tournaments in the continent, we've got day 6 of 6 of the Milan tournament. It is the big final day, kicking off 7 o'clock GMT, 9 o'clock Central European Summertime, and 1300 hours Indian Summertime. As Krut Patel comes on and Sukhvinder Singh, skipper, comes out. Try to nurse his team through these final 2 overs, but to finish that story, I certainly wouldn't mind it if what was a fairly ordinary dropped catch, albeit looking slightly into the sun, was deleted from the YouTube records. But despite my requests for a purge, the folks over in Google have not responded positively.
Oh, you'll have to tell me where it is. I have to have a look at that. But now that you've told millions of other people, well, there you go. Go check it out. Let us know. Was it a real clanger?
It was. I pride myself on a good pair of hands. I'm certainly not the fastest mover in the field, Rico, but if I get to one, I generally like to execute the catch, and that was not one of my better efforts. But a man who's put plenty of good efforts in this week, Krut Patel, comes in, just nails it at the leg side. This is going to be a simple run out. Yeah. And Indian Royals are just imploding here at the Miranda Corvo Stadium. Yeah, I mean, there was, well, even with the captain shuffling it about on the floor, he still had time to pick it up, get it to Patel. Bells come off, it's a run out, and this is, well, just go back and remember that they were 27 of 2. There were 32 at the end of the power play, 3 overs, and look where they are now. It's just not happening for them, is it? They're just in all sorts of trouble, and well, sometimes you've got to put it down to, it could be bad luck, it could be a number of things, it could be things just not going your way, but I think in this case, I'm going to say that some of the cricket that we've seen hasn't been very smart. No, they've let themselves go after a good start. But I think that was actually Kapil Surendra Kumar who came up with the run out there. So after a shaky start in the field, hasn't he been an influence? Yes, it is. Of course, I can see the 7 and the 1's well hidden, but well done. And he's certainly earning himself some fantasy points, isn't he? Well, and if he's in your team, well, he's the man to have. Could be a wild card simply for the fielding points, as Krut Patel, who's no doubt in everyone's team. Sukhvinder swinging well across the line. Krut wondering how that hasn't taken the off stump. Well, you mentioned during the last game you were pretty keen to see Sukhvinder come out and wield the willow. Yeah. He's not making use of the facilities to date. And let's see, he needs to latch onto a few here, doesn't he? He needs to try as best he can these last few remaining balls to hit some big shots. And at the moment, it's still more of the tiki-taka. And, well, apart from the earlier good hitting, and it was good hitting from Mohamed Saad, nothing else has happened. And the rest of this scorecard, if you took him out of the equation, just looks like a telephone number. It's not been good. Well,
Can we see something happen here from new batsman? Well, it's going to be runs, but once more, it's just a single.
Remarkably though, Rico, with their good start, even if they scratch out 8 or 10 runs from this last over, they've ended up 7 wickets down for 58 after the 9th. Even if they get it up to 65 or better, 70, that's still potentially a defendable total. This will not be an easy ground to chase under lights, and we can even feel the cold and the moisture coming in more in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, definitely. We know that at this time, and certainly in between the innings, that small break that we have, everything changes. It won't be. I just feel that, I mean, okay, 58 it is now. I still believe it's got to be 70 plus to try and put that pressure on. And this one's, once again, and I'm being impressed as well with the captaincy here from Jitu. He's got the fielders in the right place. He's got the right fielders in the right place as well. And at the moment, everything seems to be going straight to hand.
Absolutely. And just from a quicker check of the sky, Rico, I'm pleased to report that we've actually got a fair bit of cloudless space at the moment, so we should hopefully be able to get through this second game without any more weather-related dramas as Paolo Butchamatsa comes in from his position out at deep mid-wicket to keep that to a single. And good start again to the over from Sunil Kumar. He's doing the job asked of him by his captain, not trying to do anything particularly remarkable, but he's been keeping it to singles.
Kumar in once more, and this one's down the left. Oh,
not again.
Not
again.
I cannot believe it. Are these kookaburras just got? You know, it's like it's got a little magnet that attracts to these stumps. That one again, it's going down the leg side. The batsman has managed to get a pad on it and knocks it onto his stumps. Unbelievable. Look at this.
It's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he's about a metre outside of leg stump, Jatinder Singh. Completely missed the ball, but it's great deal of misfortune to have multiple occasions to have the ball cannon off the pad or the back end of the bat and take your stumps out.
Well, I'm saying that sometimes maybe it's not just your day, and well, Irish were thinking that about their game yesterday and the matches too that they had and couldn't win, even though they got so close. Well, maybe it's going to be the same sort of thing here for the Indian Royals.
Well, notice, and I'm sure you're an avid follower of the European cricket social media feeds, and I noticed we had a post on Twitter last night which referenced the old, another clean bowled, and Sunil Kumar is doing a great job here for his captain. He's really, really putting himself in the game and delivering. But back to the social post, a reference to the old Friends theme song and the line of when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year, and a bit of footage from the incident last night where we had a very unlucky player who bottom edged the ball, spun it around, hit the bottom of the stumps.
Yes.
And they've got a fair bit of material to work with today if they want to replicate that post.
Well, look, we're on a hat-trick ball. He's taken 2 in 2. And Sunil Kumar, well, what an introduction this has been for him. Hat-trick ball. Can he get it? It's just got to be straight, I think. And he's put it on the leg side. They're all going up. Big appeal. No, behave yourself.
Is it a catch behind? Is it a stumping? Is it just a dot ball?
It's the FanCode Portugal T10. That's what it is. This is what it's all about, action. Well, he almost had it. They went for the catch first. Let's have a look at this. First, they was going for the catch. I mean, I don't think he's anywhere there. But then, look, does he stay inside?
Did he scamper out of his crease?
He's in there now at the moment. Look, we just need to see a little bit more of it, don't we? Look, he goes out for a bit, and no, he just kept that 1 foot in, and
well, Sunil Kumar, when he came to the ground tonight, he probably would have not even expecting to bowl, or just standing out in the field and just making up the numbers. But he has had an incredible 2 overs in this game. He's just managed to finish with another dot ball, which keeps the Indian Royals to a phenomenally subpar 9 wickets down for 60 runs in their 10 overs. But the figures of Sunil Kumar, 3 wickets for 5 runs. And when you look at that bowling card, Greenshields, 3 wickets for 6, and Kumar, 3 wickets for 5. I'm not sure Conrad would have been expected to have been trumped by another bowler after he had the 3 for 6 figures earlier in the game.
Certainly not, but it started all so well, didn't it? This man was hitting the ball and he was hitting it big. Mohamed Saeed, look at this. Some of this hitting was top quality. It's the best that we've seen so far here in Portugal, and it was consistent. He was taking them on. This one, well, what a lovely shot right from the meat of the bat. And you just thought there, the way they were going 14 off the first, and it was 27 after 2, but then the wicket did have to come, but it wasn't his wicket, and he still thought, well, this could go big, this could be something incredible, but it all just fell flat straight after he was out, and nobody else was able to get the game back on. They just couldn't get the runs there. It was a good catch there from Hussain. That one's the one that started it, and that was Manpreet getting himself out. This one going in the air, it was important, had to hold on to it, it did. And then after that, well, yeah, he took the applause of his team, and so he should. But the team, nobody else could take off where he left off, and even just been the Singh there, going for 4 of 6 balls.
Rico, it was a one-way walk down struggle street for the Indian Royals after that mammoth start, and Mohamed Saad must be sitting back in the dressing room just asking the rest of his teammates, what were they thinking? What were they doing? I gave you the platform. You just had to put the icing on the cake, but they singularly failed to do so. And there hasn't been a batsman in the side that has gotten past 6 runs other than Saad's 29 off 15.
Yeah, that's incredible stuff. And, well, I know there were some unfortunate dismissals as well, which you just look at it and say, well, how? And that was one of them there. And the thing is now they've got just a few minutes as we see this further demolition job to try and come back. And this man here, well, we've already said Sunil Kumar, when he came here today, I bet he never thought he was going to be a hat-trick. Well, that was nice to see as well. Kapil Sundrakarma, he had an easier one than that, and then takes a catch, and here he is again, thinking, no, I've got you, there's the run out. Great bit of teamwork as well, and it was just too easy. And what did they do? How do they come back out in a positive frame of mind?
I don't know, Rico. They have let what should have been an opportunity to put a big total on the board completely slip from their grasp. The last 8 overs has been fairly mediocre, and after a tremendous start, they really should have put a greater total on the board. As it is, with the conditions that they are absolutely not out of this. I don't know. The big question will be for Awaris, do they revert back to their traditional opening partnership of Kuldeep and Greenshields, or do they stick with the guys who did the job in the last game? Krut Patel, he has looked better than almost any other batsman in this tournament so far. Armandeep showed some good skills in the last game. Question for them, or do they try a new partnership? I mean, clearly Sunil Kumar and Kapil Surendra Kumar have got the golden arms at the moment with their classical bowling and fielding combination. Do you go for the wild cards and throw them up the top of the order?
Yeah, very good question. I mean, if it were my captaincy cap on, and maybe you probably think the same, Andrew, and there's no way you think at home. Look, the opening partners that were out there the last time, they put on a 62-run partnership. That's enough to win this match. And don't forget, they also, that 62, they did it in less than the time that they've got here now, so they can quite easily stick to the same old words. You don't change a winning formation.
Formula, no. And Krut Patel is the man that they can build that total around.
Yeah.
If he gets going, he'll probably knock this score off within 6 or 7 overs. So I agree with you, Rico. Let's not change up what's been a winning combination earlier tonight. Awaris, they would be backing themselves to end up a 2-2 in this FanCode Portugal T10 tournament after night 4 of competition. So this is game 8 of the 23 days of Portuguese cricket that we have coming up in Miranda de Corvo for the Coimbra T10 competition. Rico, some early observations on the tournament. Favourites at the moment?
Well, it's difficult to say. I mean, I like the look of Gurkha 11. I think they're a team that they play more, are going to get better and better. And, well, Marlow as well, they impressed me. And, of course, we still got 2 more teams that we need to see. But yeah, Marlow and Gurkha 11 have looked good. I think Irish, they're coming together, they're getting stronger, and the Indian Royals, of course, they will improve. Don't forget, they're going to have 2 more matches tomorrow as well. But at the moment, well, we're just looking through that scorecard again. We already talked about Mohammed Said. He was the only one that made any contributions at all. And bowling-wise, look, we can criticise the batting side, but we also have to give praise to Irish, because I think the way their bowlers bowled, okay, you took some hammering at the beginning, but they didn't let it get to them. They just came, and I like the way the captain said to his main man, to Greenshield, say, right, okay, look, they've got off to a good start. Here's the ball. Bring it back in, and he just did that, and all the others then just followed the same suit. They just bowled a line and length and let the batsman make the mistakes, and there were some great figures there. And well, great to see Conrad Greenshield taking 3 wickets. I know him and Butsimatsi yesterday were having a little bit of a debate about, well, look, you're bowling, my bowling, who took the most wickets. Well, I think Conrad Greenshields is going to be able to come back strong and say, well, look, you watching me today. And Rohit Kumar, he was very good again. And Sunil Kumar there as well, taking 3 at the end. What a wonderful introduction it was from him. But it just goes to show, you bowl a good line, keep the ball line and length, don't try and do anything special with it, you're going to get wickets.
Absolutely, Rick. And I think when you're talking about this second game in particular, there's a bit of extra moisture on the ball, on the pitch. Actually, it's that wicket-to-wicket bowling, which is really crucial. You don't need to do too much with the ball. Make the batsman make the errors. The heavy atmosphere, it's hard to clear the outfield with the same level of hitting as you do during the daytime games. So just make the batsman make the errors. That's the absolute play for the bowling attacks, and I suspect that Captain Sukhwinder Singh, that is precisely the message that he is giving to his bowling attack at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also, if you look back at that last game, that's what they did very well. They did, when they got their line wide and they shook those early nerves that they probably had going out, they didn't try and bowl too fast. I don't think they have really any, well, maybe they have, but they haven't deployed them. They haven't got quick bowlers. They just bowled a good line at the stumps. And if they can get a little bit of luck, they had the bad luck, I think, when they're batting. If the luck can go on their side when they're fielding, anything can happen. Anyway, we're going to take a short break now. This is FanCode, Portugal T10. I'm Rico Full, and I'm joined by Andrew Ryan, and we should be back in just under 10 minutes time for the resumption of this game and to see if the Indian Royals can defend a total of 61 needed by Irish for victory.
Welcome back to Miranda de Corvo Stadium for the concluding stages of what's been a compelling night of T10 cricket here in the Coimbra region of Portugal. We have the second clash between the Indian Royals, who won the toss for this game too and elected to bat first, and they are up against the Irish Cricket Club, who are trying to complete their second victory for the evening. They had a comprehensive win in Game 1, and the Indian Royals, after a very strong start with the bat in Game 2, are now facing an uphill battle to try to defend what is a fairly meagre target for this second game. Awaris only needing 61 runs off their 10 overs. And welcome back to the commentary box, Rico Full. How are you, Rico?
I'm very well. I'm looking forward to seeing how this goes. I mean, it should be straightforward, and already we've seen that there is a slight change in the batting, which I'll get your views on in a minute. But it should be straightforward. But anything can happen. We know it's not easy batting when we're under these floodlights in full darkness.
Well, it's not a great start if you're going to give a meagre target to a quality side like Awaris to chase. Then you have got to be on the button from the get-go, and bowling a wide and having the keeper allow through for an extra is not the way forward. So disappointing start for the India Royals. We've got Manjit Singh with the ball, and opening up for Awaris Cricket Club, we have Krut Patel, who's just faced that first ball, and with him Conrad Greenshield. So we were debating during the break, actually, Rico, whether they would keep the opening pair that they had for game one, which was Amandeep and Krut, or they'd go back to their regulation pair of Kuldeep and Conrad. Well, they've done neither. They've just gone 50-50 from Bay. Good ball from Manjit. A little bit of pace, actually. He's sharper than the majority of bowlers that we've seen, particularly in these second games where a number of the fast bowlers have elected to come off shorter runs and just try to make sure their location and direction is good.
Yeah, he's certainly getting it, whipping it in. He knows that the importance of getting early wickets here. There again, he's getting it. Oh, well.
Tough call.
That's a very tough call. And the umpires thought about it. Umpire Bucks in India and thought, yep, it is. And I can think I was just as surprised, I think, as the bowler there. But look, the umpires, they've been pretty consistent and pretty hard on him. And well, you just got to get it a little bit closer, and that's better.
Oh, good ball.
That's a good ball, and that's worth a shout. Certainly is. Umpire Bucks is not interested. We'd like to see that again. Is it going straight on the stumps, or was it just slightly outside the line? Let's have a look again.
Well, I think it may have been hitting Rico, but maybe just a touch outside of off stump. But either way, Conrad Greenshields will be breathing a sigh of relief.
That's a good call, you know, that's a good shout. And the umpire had a few things to go through in his mind. And, well, he still had to do that as well. That's the leg mark being signalled. Well, I've seen him given. I have to say, I've seen him given, but that one, the umpire decided it wasn't going to go on. He wasn't happy 100%, and, well, that's their role. They've got to be absolutely right. Any doubt, you can't give it.
Absolutely, but hasn't Manjit Singh brought some buzz to this attack? He is going through at a rate of knots. Every time he bowls a dot ball, he's jumping around like a little stage performer. Great stuff to watch. Oh. Good nut. Krut Patel way behind the pace.
Yeah, good recovery there from the keeper as well. I thought once again he was going to give another freebie for Kuma, but he recovered and got the throw in as well.
Good line and length, Manjit Singh. Can he finish the over? A couple of unfortunate wide calls early on, but if he can keep it under 6 runs for this opening state, that'll help them out. Krut Patel blaze outside off stump, misses again. Feet just look like they're stuck in concrete at the moment and struggling to deal with just the extra clicks of pace from Manjit Singh. That's a really, really positive first over.
Yeah, well, that's the start they needed. I mean, okay, if you could have added a wicket to that, and he nearly did that LBW, well, I've got to say, Andrew, if I was the bowler and I bowled that ball and I didn't get the decision, I would really be asking the question, well, why? Why not? That had to be hitting. So he's going to be disappointed, but he kept his calm and he finished a good over. Only 4 runs from it.
Let's see, can he finish off? Final ball here. Had to bowl a couple of extras for the wides earlier in the over. It's good length again, zips through to the keeper. Patel plays and misses yet another ball. Super start for the Indian Royals, giving themselves some hope.
Yeah, and that's what they've got to do. They've got to believe. And that's what it's all about, believing. Well, just been, he's believing he can have another bat. He's practicing his batting shots out there. And, well, he's done his batting for today, unfortunately. You've got to do fielding now, no more batting. And he's in a important position there. He's very straight, isn't he? Really, really straight. The first time that we've seen anybody so straight. In fact, he's, well, almost in danger of being behind the bowler's arm. He's so straight.
Not shockingly far off. And the bowler for this next over, it's going to be Ishwar Singh. Moving back after the first game where they had a predominantly spin attack, they have gone back to the paceman. And can Ishwar give the same sort of hurry up that we saw in the first over? Short of a length. well caught by the man at point. That's a sensational grab, and it's a key wicket. Conrad Greenshields stepped onto the back foot, tries to crack a boundary through point, but that is an excellent catch. And well, Mohammad Saad, he is having a superb game. Cracked a number of bombs in the first innings, 4 sixes all up, and then he's taken a superb catch. What a start to the game, Rico, and this is throwing the cat amongst the pigeons.
Well, now that one is, just all I can say to that is Ginna Sona. That was all about Shaba Shaba. I mean, that was absolutely drilled. And Conrad Greenshields, well, he's probably thinking, I couldn't have hit it any better. It was a quality shot, but that catch from Mohammad Saad was sensational.
Really good catch. That takes good technique. He went down low, hit the ground, kept the hands nice and soft. Would have seen it very late. He's looking straight into the light towers there. Conrad Greenshields got onto it, timed the ball well, just couldn't keep it down. That's a massive wicket in the context of this game, and Ishwar has been rewarded. But I go back to that first over of the innings by Manjeet Singh, which really put Awaris on the back foot. They are now not taking control, but certainly taking proactive steps to challenging Awaris for game 2. Game on, Rico.
Certainly is game on, and Kuldeep, he comes out to bat, the wicketkeeper batsman. Let's see what he can do here. And once again, targeting that area outside the off stump. And at the moment, well, Conrad Greenshield thought he'd found a way through, hit a cracking shot, but was caught by Mohammad Said. And, well, the new batsman, Kuldeep Gulia, not able to make contact with it. Good, clever bowling this. And, well, if you can get the surprise one full and straight, the Yorker length delivery's coming in at the same time. Well, it definitely is, as you said, Andrew. Game on at the moment here.
They look up for it, Rico. The Indian Royals, they sniff a chance. It's not a good ball from Ishwar, but thought he may have gotten away with it, but the umpire calls wind. You've got to keep the pressure on while you get the chance. And Kuldeep, he's far more struggling at the start of his innings, where if he gets in for 6 balls, 10 balls, he could really knock a lot of this total off.
Absolutely right, yes. And, well, can the bowler get one? He's gone
Good
for
ball.
it wide outside again. A bit of movement, and, well, umpire Winters, he's looking at it thinking, no, that's okay. Good bit of swing. I just get a feeling if you can get one right up there, Andrew, he's got in. I think the batsmen are looking at these, both the bowlers, I think, so far, Munpreet and Ishwar. They've had the ball outside. Get the surprise Yorker in. It could be interesting. Look at that one. He's walking and still can't get to it.
Well, I suspect it's a distinctive ploy that they have to try not to bowl full to Kuldeep. Playing with fire, he drives very well both sides of the wicket. I see they're also one of the first teams to employ the man at deep backward point, where the ball really does fly up, and it's suggesting, as the ball has gone more so to normal point, Kuldeep has cracked that. Even if a fielder was in range, I'm not sure they would have caught it, but they're definitely trying a little bit of a shorter length ploy to him. It hasn't been successful on that ball, but still keeping the run rate down in these opening power play overs. If they can get out of this over with a dot ball, get back to Manjeet to come through and fire in another hearty range of quick balls in his third over. They've gone a little bit fuller. Kuldeep is going to get himself back on strike.
Yeah, that was, well, good change of direction from the bowler. The last one, it was a cracking shot, you have to say. He middled it beautifully. The fielder, well, it went down. It was the same hand to the catch, couldn't do anything about it. And then that one there, he's got his right. He's got the Yorker that I was talking about. Wasn't quite 100% there, but it was at least it was a change of direction, and it's got the batsman thinking, knowing that the bowler has the ability to bowl it.
Right, I'm excited for this over, Rico, and possibly more excited than I've been in the 4 nights that we've been here in Miranda de Corvo. Manjeet really sending the ball down with good pace in that last over. He's now up against Kuldeep. This could be the decisive over for this match.
Well, and he comes. Let's see if you're right. And he started, well, a little bit short. The batsman's got onto it quickly, but it will only just be a single, and he won't mind that, because I think he's more than happy to once again have a go at Patel. Patel hasn't looked so comfortable. He batted well in the first match when he opened up. At the moment, hasn't really opened his account. 4 balls, no score. That's a much nicer shot, but straight to fielder. And, well, he was made to run. I'm just wondering if the fielder would have attacked the end that Patel was running to. Patel not the quicker. I'm sure Kuldeep was always going to get to his end, and also he was backing up. Patel was a little bit on the back foot.
Those men inside the 30-metre circle on the offside, all right back on the edge of the 30, giving themselves as much opportunity as possible, as it's a third consecutive single, and that one goes out to Sukhwinder Singh, the skipper. But all the fielders on the 30-metre circle, very, very deep, trying to stop the boundaries in the power play as much as possible. I suspect one or two of those may move in when we get the fielding going back out for the remaining 7 overs of this contest. Magic comes in again. Oh, Kuru Patel has used the loft, and it's almost taken by, looks like it could have actually been the other opening bowler, Ishwar Singh, down there on the backward point boundary. But that is a relieving 6 off the bat of Kuru Patel, using the pace of Manjeet.
Yeah, well, he was looking for this. He needed something like this to get him moving on, and finally gets his chance, gets his boundary, and he gets it. The Maximo as well. Well, Manpreet, what's his answer? He needs a wicket, needs this wicket.
It's a better ball. He hasn't looked to have quite the same zip as his first over in this second Rico, and batsman just catching up a little bit. Kuru Patel struggled to get bat on ball in his first over, but looked much more comfortable in this second.
Yeah, I mean, other than a couple of deliveries, what I like about Manpreet is keeping the ball nice and straight. So every opportunity of getting an LB, every opportunity is getting through the defences. But, well, I think he's walked away. The umpire's still looking at each other. Well, is that the end of the over or not? You never know sometimes. I think the men in black, sometimes a little bit slow moving off. But, well, there you go, the game. But he's bowled well. He's been a bit unfortunate. I still think he's deserved a wicket. But what I've liked about him is he's managed to get some zip through. He's got the ball in the right areas. And, well, he's certainly going to be one for looking out for tomorrow when we see them back again to play 2 more matches.
Agreed, but I think a big win in that over for Awaris. If they had one of these two back in the pavilion, they might have been facing an uphill task. As it is, they've gotten through the power play. They're 1 wicket down for 20. 3 overs gone, 7 to go. They still need 41 runs to take this contest. The ball is skidded through. Kuru Patel trying to swing it away on the leg side. Escapes underneath his bat, but wickets are intact. It's an easy single in the end for the bye.
Yeah, I mean, the same point, 32 was the power play when it was Indian Royals. But, of course, it went downhill after that. But they know what can happen. This one's been hit high, and he's going to keep going. Bulle, bulle, bulle. That's out of here, out of the ground. That's gone. That's going to go to the Wolves. They're going to have a field day with that. And if you want to go over the fence and get the ball, good luck to you.
Well, we're going to need Bizaway to organise a round trip back for that Kookaburra. Kuldeep has only just chipped it, but that bat has some stunning middle on it. That has gone a long, long way over the cover boundary. Outstanding batsmanship and such an immense amount of power for such a no-risk shot.
Yeah, beautiful shot. It's just all about getting himself in line. And look, at the last minute there, even one hand coming off the bat, but that made no difference. That ball still sailed over the fence here. That's gone into the wilderness. And so what is the bowler going to come back with here? Needs a good one here. This game is slipping away from him. He's gone short, and that one, I don't think that's quite what Kuldeep had in mind. But in the end, it was safe. Like we said before, the men are practically on the ring, so nobody's really in. They're not a little bit maybe too defensive here. Do you think they need wickets to win? Would you have somebody in a little bit closer there on the offside?
I think that, well, the two batsmen at the moment are really still trying to hit the ball fairly hard. They're not looking for singles as Kuru gets an outside edge, and the man coming around from backward point looks like he's just kept that within the boundary, and they've taken 2. But I don't think it's harming the Royals too much at the moment. Arguably, Awaris could actually just drop and run for the remainder of this innings, and they would walk it home, but they're still focusing on the boundaries.
Yeah, but you say that, remember they were in that position yesterday as well, where they could have just done it by taking singles. It all fell apart, but, well, they're being helped by some untidy bowling here as well. That was the attempted slow ball, came out wrong, and ended up being a big wide, and the batsmen have made that one into, well, that's 3 runs from them. They came back twice.
Well, both of these opening up bowlers, Rico, have come up with much poorer second overs than their first. They looked really sharp, right on the button in their first deliveries, but unfortunately the second over hasn't replicated, and Awaris still not out of the woods in this one yet, but they are inching their way towards a second victory.
Yeah, definitely are, and that's a better delivery. And they're asking the question. He's gone right across his line, and well, now they're asking for the run out as well. And both the umpires have said no. I'd like to see the LBW appeal again. Let's have a look. Here comes the bowler. And, well, okay, yeah, that's probably going down the leg for me. So I think the umpire went to spot on there. And
Prue Patel almost gifting his wicket, deciding to come a few steps down the pitch. Fairly large turning circle, and he's only just gotten back in before the bowler managed to get the underarm to the stumps. That could have been a disaster for Patel. He's such an important player for Awaris. Ashwa comes in. Oh, he served up a full toss on leg stump, and a man in the sort of form that Prue Patel is in is not going to reject that. He's launched an easy 6 out to the square leg boundary. That is not a good finish from Ishwar Singh, and Awaris have taken some major steps in that over to chasing this target down.
yeah, well, that was, remember what I told you? That was a Gandhi ball. Well, it got what it deserved, really. Big hit, big 6, and yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that over, it needed to be a good one. It needed to be spot on. They needed a couple of wickets in the end. It was a little bit of a run feast, especially with that big hit there at the end. And the score has raced along for 4 overs gone, 39 for 1. They're well on their way.
Well, it may be the over that just turns the game. Bit of a change up in the attack now. The skipper, Sukhwinder Singh, bringing himself on for the 5th over. Good ball. Floats it just outside off stump and skids through.
Yeah, now Sukhwinder, I'm a little bit surprised. All right, I know that the opening bowlers bowled well the first over, so he went with that. But he bowled really well himself, took 3 wickets in that first match, and he's held himself back. So this could still be a turning point. This one's a little bit short, and he's absolutely latched onto that. That is big. Shaka Lagya Kinna Sona. Well, he can't bowl it there. Anything short is going to be put away.
Well, that is the one ball that Sukhwinder Singh cannot afford to bowl on this sort of field. That is a short boundary out there on square leg. Too easy for a man of Kuldeep's class. And he's given him another one. Kuldeep's mistimed it. Fielder needed to make a charge at that ball. They desperately need the wicket.
Yes, and well, all I'm going to say to the Indian Royals is tomorrow, paronte kha ke aayo, change paronte kha ke, butter de naal aake, takkare ho ke aayo kal nu. You got 2 matches tomorrow. Go have some parontas in the morning. Have some parontas for lunch as well. And come strong in the evening, because they're going to need to be, because at the moment here, they're being absolutely torn apart. What a shot that one was. That was right out of the middle. Shaka, shaka. It's party time. It's fiesta time. Notte de fiesta.
Well, Prue Patel has clearly got a booking for around 9 o'clock local time out in the Espanol restaurant down the road. He is trying to get out of here as soon as possible. And if Sukhwinder keeps on giving half trackers down the leg side, we will be having a very early night. He's managed to redeem himself with another dot ball, but he cannot drop short on the leg side.
No, you can't do. It's been, well, started promising, didn't it, with that Manjeet Singh first over. Then after that, they've never really got it right. Ishwar Singh bowled a good first one, but like you said, both of those two, when they came back for the second overs, did not really do themselves justice. And this, well, it's just bowling runs at the moment. He'll have a go here as well for sure. And that was over pitched, and the opportunity was there. And Prue Patel somehow survives. Well, sometimes when things aren't going your way, that's the sort of things that happen. And well, you'll know that the Indian Royals will probably be thinking, well, why didn't these things happen to us? We would have probably somehow managed to get that onto our stumps.
An inside edge back onto the bails, no doubt. But Crew Patel survives. He continues his mesmerising run of form in this Portugal T10 tournament, and he is carrying the Awaris side to victory. Helped very much in this game so far by Kuldeep, who is showing some promising signs of form for the rest of this tournament, and that will be music to the ears of the Awaris players and their mighty collection of fans across the Portuguese country. One of the favourite teams within this group, and Kuldeep remarkably has pulled a half tracker straight to the man coming around for mid-wicket. That is a disappointing end. He would have liked to see them through to victory.
Yes, well, that's another wicket. And Kuldeep, we were just talking about him, and while you were talking, I was going to say, you know, I know I've said it a few times, I do like Kuldeep as a player. It's very outstanding behind the stumps, and he's a good, talented batsman. We've seen some nice shots from him, but that one, well, you know where he wanted to hit it. He wanted to do the same thing that Crew Patel did in the earlier over to Sukhwinder Singh, but not able to, and he's hit it hard. But, well, he's got himself caught, and it's Saeed doing the catching, so well done to Saeed. That's another wicket, but it's all happening too late.
Well taken, actually. It wasn't a well-timed shot, but certainly got down to an awkward, low place for him to take that catch on the move, and took it with aplomb. So their fielding has been pretty good in this game, the Indian Royals, but after those first couple of overs, the bowling has lost its way, and they've just given too many buffet balls for the Awaris batsmen to take advantage of. As I think it might be the captain, Jitu, who's approached the wicket. Hasn't had a great deal of opportunity in the tournament so far. He'll enjoy hopefully getting a few runs on the board to give him some confidence for the latter stages. Amandeep, big appeal from the keeper. It's not given any respect by the umpire, who just decides to stretch his arm up at an inconvenient time, but just a dot ball.
Yeah, Jitesh Kumar Balkrishna is now on there. Well, that one, he's sort of gone across and put his bat in the way nice and straight. I think if that one had gone through and caught him on the pads, they would have been going up again. So, well, they've just been halted in their progress here at the moment. But I don't think they're going to halt this man. He's going to go for it big, I think. Crew Patel and Amandeep Singh will be hoping otherwise. He'll be hoping to get his wicket. And he's just, that's clever bowling. He's just fired that one in just a little bit quicker.
It's actually got a quite nice action, Amandeep, and clearly a variety of tricks in his bag. It'd be good to see what he can do when he's actually got a dry ball and probably get the opportunity to bowl in the daytime session, which we will get the opportunity to do. The Indian Royals back here for 2 games tomorrow night, Saturday night at Miranda de Corvo. Is there anywhere else you would rather be?
Well, you know, look, with those disco bails, which, well, Indian Royals, we wanted to see them doing a little bit more flashing. They haven't done too much at the moment. Yeah, it will be party time again here tomorrow, Saturday night, and, well, where else would you be? You'd be watching some more of this brilliant cricket. These teams battling it out. We're going to see a new team coming tomorrow. Now, what do you know about Oporto Cricket Club?
Very little, actually, Rico. They weren't part of the Qatar group. I think there's a couple of players there who were familiar with, in particular Junaid Khan, who played for the Amigos Cricket Club in the Qatar event. He is an excellent bowler and also has plenty of talent with the bat. Certainly will be one of the quicker bowlers that is on show at this event at Miranda de Corvo. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what he can produce tomorrow night. So remember, day 5 of 23 here at Portugal T10 by FanCode. Tomorrow night, the Indian Royals up against Oporto Cricket Club. Gotta go Oporto, as the saying goes. I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what they bring to the party. A storied club from Portugal's glorious city, Porto. Great place to go and sample some of the local port delicacies there. Certainly a place I've enjoyed heading to on a few occasions, Rico.
Yeah, I bet you have, and I think you've had your mouth around a few nuns' bellies as well while you were there. And
I won't take that any further.
Well, that was going right up in the air. Yeah, it doesn't sound right, but of course we know we're talking about these pasties. And another wicket there, so, well, the captain, he sort of gets another one here. Sukhwinder Singh going up in the air. That's a good catch. He's kept his eyes on it. And remember, they're not easy because he would have been looking right up into the floodlights there, but he's done well, got across, and another wicket, and well, they all help. It all helps them. That's the other thing here. We say this sometimes when we got some of these series where teams are playing sometimes sometimes 3 matches in the day, and we always say, look, if you're going to lose, it's not about, don't worry about losing, but lose well. And by that I mean go out there, if you're fielding, field well, bowl well, batting, bat well, because it all helps to prepare you for the other games you've got coming up. And it's the same thing here. It's okay, you're going to lose this, but lose well. Get some wickets, get the bowlers comfortable, get them coming in well, get some batting practice, because they're going to need it tomorrow. They've got 2 matches tomorrow, and maybe they can do what it looks like, or we're about to do here today. They've lost 2 yesterday, but they've come strong today, and looks like they're going to win 2 out of 2.
Well, nicely bowled by Sukhwinder Singh. Classy bit of work from the keeper, and he's given him out. He's now on a hat-trick, the little skipper. What a turn of events just before Awera's managed to finish off this chase. That's a nice bit of bowling and good hands from the keeper.
Well, that's very good work. And maybe get the opportunity to see this in the replay from the side view. That would be great to see. But the batsman very reluctant to go. And look, there we go. You can see, I think he's got his foot there on the line. But, of course, the line is not good enough. The line belongs to the fielding team. You've got to be beyond that line. You've got to be past it. And, yeah, looking at that again, I think that's exactly what he's done.
No, absolutely. I think it's a good call from the umpire, Rico. Jitu not particularly happy. And probably another man who's not particularly happy is the batsman who's been required to come out. It looks like Rowett, who's joining John Foster at the crease to try to finish off this chase. But he would have almost been to the point of having his pads off and just ready to relax and have a celebratory beverage before exiting the ground tonight. But as it is, he's got to come out and try to finish off this chase. I suspect with more than 3 overs to go, they should still be relatively safe, knocking off these remaining runs.
Yeah, but this is a hat-trick ball. Would you believe it? And he's got it in the right area, and it's just been played out nicely by Hussain. He's not going to do anything nasty. I tell you what, I don't know, even though we've got these headsets on, can you hear all these crickets and all of the wildlife around us?
They clearly don't think our commentary is enough, Rico. They are contributing their own chat in the background. I believe we had the same issue at Qatar Show, actually.
Did you? Really?
There was a little bit of chat on the YouTube feed with people questioning why there were sound effects in the background.
It's just amazing. It really is amazing. And now, can you imagine if we take these headphones off, the noise that we're going to hear then? So, of course, it's just outstanding. Well,
oh, he's come up with a direct hit from lying down on the ground. What a superb bit of fielding. And poor John Foster, who hasn't been out there particularly long, is trudging back to the pavilion. That's a magnificent throw and a wonderful dismissal.
Well, would you believe it? He's having a debate now with the other batsmen. Well, I think they're going to be talking about that in the bar afterwards as well. And I think, well, Nina, Anna and Mick, they're probably thinking, well, aren't they back yet? What's going on? Because I'll tell you why we're not back. Because of things like this. This was just outstanding. Look, he's fallen over, but he's still got the throw in. That was brilliant. And I think that was Mohammed Saeed again.
I can't believe that. That's actually one of the most remarkable bits of fielding I've ever seen, Rico. That has got to end up on the social feed of European cricket tomorrow.
Can we see it again, Daniel? I'm sorry to interrupt. I'd love to see that again if you can before the batsman gets in. That was amazing. Wasn't it just amazing? He was on the floor.
And even more importantly, in the context of this game, they're now 5 wickets down. Chasing only 61 for victory.
Wow, that's just amazing. That was absolutely unbelievable.
John Foster fuming, absolutely fuming. Sukhwinder releases the pressure by sending down a wide.
Well, it's just incredible stuff. But it does go to show, doesn't it? If they just had 15 more runs, we say that it's all about getting close to the 70s. Get into the 80s in this final match. It makes all the difference because it's not easy out there, and pressure does show.
Absolutely, and if there's one thing we learned from Awaris last night, their middle order is somewhat vulnerable. Once you get those top guys out, there is a much, much easier path to victory through the middle and lower order. Sukhwinder Singh gives it some flight. Flicked around the corner, nicely played by Armandeep, who would still be reeling from the dismissal of his previous batting partner.
Yeah, well, we know about Amandeep as well. We know he's pretty useful. He finds ways to get himself out, though. But I think most of these batsmen have found ways to get himself out. They're having a chat here now, and they're probably saying, "Look, come on, let's not throw this away." As that over's come to an end, and what an eventful one it was. It seemed to be an over that went on forever.
It certainly did, and this game is taking much longer to finish off than we might have expected a couple of overs ago, but hasn't it produced some drama and some highlights in the last couple of overs? We're still needing 5 runs. They've got 5 wickets left.
Yeah.
Rico, what do you think of the Royals' chances?
Well, the pretty slim, but I will say this. If they just keep bowling straight and don't give any extras away, I think there's a few more wickets here to be had, though, you know.
Oh, so you're telling me there's a chance?
Well, if the line is good and the batsman, you said it yourself, the batsman, I mean, all right, I'm going to say that Amandeep is the one who's probably going to have to bring it home for him. And maybe that was the discussion there, to say, look, don't throw your wicket away.
Go for the quicker one, straight on the stumps, Amandeep.
And
do the complete opposite, and that's what happens.
Yeah, I was going to say too much width. He needs to. You got to attack the stumps. You need wickets. Every bowler has got to be bowling wicket-to-wicket balls, not outside the off stump. You're not looking to contain here now. You're looking for wickets. I'm also still very surprised about the field. I don't think the field has been attacking enough for me. You need a field that's going to get you catches and take wickets, and at the moment it's too defensive.
Well, he's got to try to pin Hussain back. Digs that one out. That's well bowled. Should have been the ball before to Amandeep. Try to keep him on strike. Pin him back. Maybe get the LBW. Hussain probably feeling a little bit of pressure now. Wouldn't want to expose the absolute lower order to try to knuckle through these last couple of runs. That's a better ball. Well tucked away on the corner from Hussain. I like the stump-to-stump bowling from Amandeep, though.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And, well, more cricket. I love cricket. And, well, the crickets are loving the cricket at the moment. They've all turned up, and they're loving the match. They're loving the action. They're probably wondering what's going on here. They've seen the lights from miles away, and they've all turned up around this ground in Miranda de Corvo. And, well, they're enjoying themselves. And I'm sure there's a few more eyes in those woods looking down and wondering what's going on here. And there's a few foxes or wolves playing around with a few kookaburra balls as well that have gone out the ground. It's nicely played. That's all they've got to do here. And
well, it'd be good defensive bowling if they had another 20 runs to play with,
yeah,
Rico,
yeah.
But he's a good bowler. He's really got to be attacking the stumps at this stage and just bank on an error.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's all done with that single. And the umpires are quite confident it is. The batsmen just wait, and there's the confirmation. So it's been job done, and they've done it convincingly. They've done it well. And all you can say is, well, congratulations to our Irish. They didn't have the best of starts yesterday. They were, well, in a little bit of a pickle, and then a match they should have won. They found a way not to win it. But they've come back strong, and well, Lorne was with us yesterday, and Lorne did say that he believes that their team will come back well and come back strong, and he was absolutely right. They've done just that. It's been a good performance from them.
Wasn't he on the money, Lorne? Some astute observations and many topics yesterday, but Werris will be happy with their work today. They will have been deflated after the first 2 losses last night, but coming up against Marlow Cricket Club, one of the best teams in this tournament, was always going to be a tough ask when they're starting afresh. But they have banked the experience from last night and come out in a very, very professional pair of performances here tonight, Rico. But certainly some positive signs from Indian Royals. They just couldn't put it together with battle ball in both games. Certain individuals really impressed. In particular, really enjoyed the first couple of overs from Manjit Singh in that game. Sukhwinder Singh, we talked about the fact that he looks relatively unthreatening, but he's always picking up wickets. Another 2 in that innings, and Amandeep pretty tidy with the ball as well. But batting-wise, just after that onslaught from Saad to start with, there was just so little support, and I think they'll really, really feel that they let themselves down. He gave themselves a platform. They should have been able to put at least 80 runs on the board, and 80 possibly would have been enough to win this game.
Yeah, look, the way they came out, I thought they've learnt their lesson from the first match. They came out positive, they came out firing, and I thought, here we go. I thought we were going to see a big score posted, and then all of a sudden it went flat, and then that left a relative easy job for Irish to do. I think the captain here, Sukhwinder Singh, He's done a good job. You couldn't have asked for any more. This was a great catch, and we've seen what an eventful over it was. We saw some excellent bit of work. We saw the opportunity of a hat-trick as well. And this was great work from the wicketkeeper, Rohit Kumar. I liked his work as well. And yeah, you see the foot on the line, but it has to be past the line. He got himself into a hat-trick, and then there was, in the same over, there was the most amazing run out. This is it here. Look at this. He's on the floor, and he just got the ball in, and it's got his man out. Incredible stuff.
That will go down as probably the best run out this year, Rigo. I just cannot fathom that anything is going to top that, and we'll have a look through the scorecard of what was a fairly positive all-round performance from Awaris. We had Krub Patel and Conrad Greenshields opening the innings. Surprise choice, mixing up the two pairs who have featured so far. Krub Patel continued to roll out the boundaries. He came up with 3 sixes in an innings of 23 off 19. Struggled to put bat on ball and a lot of others, but he did what was needed in the circumstances before he was a victim of Sukhwinder Singh. Conrad, he was out very early, and that was at the point that you actually thought that the Indian Royals were in with a chance here. He was well caught by Saad off the bowling of Ishwar Singh for a duck. Kuldeep came out, looked a little bit out of control at times, but also came up with a pair of sixes and a 4, helped along by some poor short pitch bowling on the leg side before he was eventually a victim of Armandeep Singh, who bowled a couple of tidy overs. The skipper, Dijitesh, he's having a tough tournament at the moment with the bat. He was stumped by Kumar off an excellent piece of left-arm orthodox bowling by Sukhwinder Singh. He only troubled the scorers for 1 run. John Foster, incredibly unlucky, didn't even get to face the ball before he was run out by a remarkable piece of fielding by Mohammad Saad, who continued to have a brilliant all-round game. My word, I would have thrown in the ball just to see what he could have done after such a brilliant effort with the bat and then in the field. Armandeep came out. He was not out 3 off 7 to close out the game, and Hussain, who is more than capable with the bat, ended up not out. 2 runs off 3 balls. Rico, how does our bowling scorecard look?
Well, I think with the batting, as you said, Krub Patel, he was the key. He was a star. In his 2 knocks, he scored 64 runs in total. Now, with the bowling, well, the man who comes to mind is Sukhwinder Singh. He took 5 wickets in total in the 2 matches. He took another 2 here today, which means he would have had figures of 5 for 29, and that's fantastic effort from him as the captain. But unfortunately, I think he has to look at his batsmen there, the people that let him down. I think bowling-wise, Manpreet Singh, he started well. He started on fire. I think he's still unfortunate not to have got a wicket, but he bowled his 2 overs for 13. Ishwar Singh bowled a good first over, but let himself down with his second, and I think that gave the little bit of breathing space that Awaris needed, really. Sukhwinder Singh, as we already said, came in to try and stop the run. He did pick up the 2 wickets. There was also the run out as well. Armandeep Singh, he bowled very well as well. Look, 2 overs, just 5 runs for 1 wicket. So you cannot really point any fingers at the bowling. I think also the fielding was very good. The point where they lost both these matches was down to the batting, and it's that they've got to bring to the party tomorrow. They've got to go away from this and do exactly what Awaris did, come back tomorrow strong and just have a plan with the batting.
Yep, and it's going to be a big game tomorrow night. As we talked before, one of the most historic clubs in not just Portugal but world cricket, a Porto Cricket Club, making their way to the Coimbra area, taking the highway about an hour and a half away to get to Miranda de Corvo, and they are in for an absolute treat. This ground looks like a picture both during the daytime and lit up in the evening. This has been a magnificent way to spend a Friday night. 2 really, really good contests by a pair of teams still feeling their way into the tournament. But as we've said a few times, I suspect the Indian Royals will be much better for that run of 2 games today, and they will come out firing tomorrow night.
Yeah, they absolutely will. And talking about firing tomorrow night, we'll be doing the same again here. We'll be back at the same time. Remember, in Central European time, we'll be starting at 6:30. 2 matches again here. And, well, it's a Saturday night, so this is the place to be. You're going to have a party. Maybe we'll crack open a bottle of some lovely Portuguese wine. We know the wine here is lovely. It comes from the Douro Valley. And maybe the old port as well. Do you like a bit of port?
I love a good port, Rico. I have been known to even even have a cheeky little port during a work lunch occasionally.
Wow.
And it's often preceded some of my better cricket innings in some friendly games back home. So I will definitely not be passing up that opportunity.
Well, I tell you what, then here we go. We make a deal, right? If I bring the port, you get some cheese, and it's Saturday night after all. We've got to have a bit of a party. I mean, port and cheese and watching cricket, what could be better?
Love the sound of that, Rico.
Well,
That would be a wonderful way to spend a Saturday night, and I'm sure for all the people at home, you couldn't think of anything better than coming back and joining us here for this FanCode Portugal T10 competition. It's been another wonderful night of cricket, Rico. Plenty more action in Milan tomorrow with Vinny and the team. Some cracking matches coming up on the final day from the fashion capital of the world. Should be some great action, but really looking forward to joining you for Saturday night here in Coimbra.
yes, it's been an absolute pleasure, Andrew, and we've had a great day. And, well, a great evening here as well. We've had some rain, but fortunately it held off for the 2 matches we had here today. The first one slightly shortened, an 8-over bash, and then we had the T10 afterwards. But the day belongs to Irish. They came back strong. They've got the 2 wins now. They've got their series off with a bang now today. And tomorrow, well, who will it be? Will it be Porto, or will the Indian Royals come back strong and come back winning 2 matches themselves? Well, until then, myself, Rico Full, and Andrew Ryan, we're going to say adios. We're going to say buonanotte and hasta mañana por fiesta de noche. Good night to you all.